This is Sparta!
Emery Spartan football on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. Emery Spartan football is powered by Castle Country Radio. And now, for tonight's play-by-play, let's join Aiden Mortensen and Justin Thornley in the Sutherland's broadcast booth.
Welcome into the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. We are live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth as we prepare for one of the most hotly anticipated games of this football season as the Emery Spartans welcome to town cross-county rival, the Carbon Dinos. Hi, everybody. Aiden Mortensen alongside Justin Thornley with the game for you today. And Thornley, it's a pleasure as always to have you on. Thanks for coming back. You did great last week. Excited to have you back.
Hey, thanks, Aiden. I'm excited to be back again and see a fun football game tonight.
And fun is what we are in store for. So, I almost called you Sonny. Still, old habits die hard, Thornley. So it's going to be an exciting game regardless. Both squads coming off of losses in their season opener. Of course, the Spartans playing in a neutral site showdown against the Kanab Cowboys last week. They fall in that contest 48-13. The Carbon Dinos also on the road. They travel up to Spanish Fork for a showdown against American Leadership Academy. And whenever those two teams meet, you're due for some fireworks. And fireworks there were, as it took 2 periods of overtime to decide a winner. ALA able to punch in a 2-point conversion to come away with a 23-21 victory over the Dinos. So two teams hungry for their first win, and what better way to get that first win of the season than against your rival?
Yeah, rivalry week there. Start of school for both teams as well. So a lot of excitement coming into this game.
Now, you've had this perspective in your coaching tenure as a wrestling coach. Rivalry matchups always tend to bring the best out of both teams, but along with it, it also comes with quite a bit of emotion. How have you seen these students throughout the years handle the pressure that comes alongside a rivalry game?
Yeah, rivalry games are tricky because, you always see that emotion come through, and sometimes that can be a positive for those athletes, and sometimes it can be, more nerves and a little bit of a breakdown on the field or on the mat or whatever it is. So rivalry weeks are tricky. My perspective was always to try to make sure that practice was normal.
Yeah, you got to make sure that practice is coming through normal because, if that's the one sense of normalcy they really have, especially in a week like this where school is starting, you've got this on your mind, so much going on for these student athletes that you really have to be excited to see how this goes. Now, we're going to take a quick break here on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show, but when we come back, we're going to jump into a conversation I was able to have with Emery High School head coach John Famalo earlier in the week, recapping last week's game as well as looking ahead to tonight's contest. We got that and more right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. You're listening to the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
When your comfort is on the line, trust the experts who care. At Air Temp Heating and Cooling, we've been dedicated to keeping Castle Country cozy since 1999. Our certified technicians are ready with 24/7 emergency service and the latest knowledge in heating and cooling technology. As a proud Bryant authorized dealer, we'll do whatever it takes to ensure your home or business stays comfortable year-round. Call Air Temp Heating and Cooling today at 637-4468.
Welcome to Emery and Carbon Animal Health, where Dr. Jensen and his staff greet you and your pet with caring smiles. Our exam rooms are clean and inviting. Our accredited doctors offer many procedures, including examinations, surgery, dentistry, and boarding. Schedule an appointment today. 2 locations to serve you. Emery and Carbon Animal Health. Animals big and small. We care for them all.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered. At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Castle Country Vet, they believe every pet deserves a touch of love and expert care. You can trust Dr. Harmer and Dr. Kelly. They're not just veterinarians, but passionate pet lovers, dedicated to nurturing your furry friends like family. From routine checkups to emergency interventions, you and your pet will experience compassionate, professional care every step of the way. Let Castle Country Vet help your pets lead the happiest, healthiest lives. Call Castle Country Vet today, 637-5797, because love is a 4-legged word.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. Aiden Mortensen alongside Justin Thornley for tonight's contest as your Emery Spartans prepare to take on cross-county rival, the Carbon Dinos. It's going to be a good one tonight. Both teams on the field warming up. Earlier in the week, I had the opportunity to catch up with Emery High School head coach John Famalo to recap their season opening loss to the Kanab Cowboys, as well as look ahead to tonight's contest. Here's that interview in full.
Joining us now over the phone is Emery High School head football coach John Famalo. And Coach, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thanks as always for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem, man. Appreciate you having me on.
You know, it was a tough Kanab team you guys ran into, but a lot of hope coming for this Spartans squad. One of the things that really impressed me throughout this contest was just your ability to hold Kanab's run in check. This is a very run-heavy team, and it felt like they were only able to break off 1 or 2 big games in the run.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we came in there. Game plan was to try to stop the run. And we did a fair job. We had a few big ones, like you said. I think when stats total, I mean, we gave it 180, probably more than we wanted to, but they passed the ball well. But, I mean, I felt like our run defense was pretty decent for the most part. I felt like kids came downhill, and so I was, happy about that. But certainly a talented team that we played, and, I feel like we didn't put our best foot forward. But at the end of the day, I think we learned a lot. And, about certain kids, and so, hopefully that's kind of what we're gearing towards is figuring out where we're at and where we need to get.
With a young team like you have this year, being able to learn what these kids are presenting is crucial early on in this season, especially with the gauntlet of a schedule you guys have built up throughout this season. One of the things that's always impressed me about the culture you've been able to build at Emery High is how it turns into a bit of a player-led program. You have the seniors really stepping up and trying to lead this team. What seniors have you had step into that role and really try and help guide this team towards a winning culture heading into the season?
Like you say, it does start with that group, that senior group, and we've got 4 captains right now, and that are really, stepping forward, taking that leadership role. AJ being one of them, kind of quarterback. Craig Leroy, I thought he had a really good game offensively against Kanab. We've got Miles. Miles, he's been a 2-year starter, your brother, and he's done a phenomenal job. And then we've got Hunter Leffler, who ran both on the offensive side and the defensive side. And so those kind of 4 kids plus, Garrett, when we get him back, he's another one of those leaders. So, again, that's the whole intent of, I think, being a coach is teaching these kids a little bit about leadership and taking that role and being able to do all they can to help motivate these kids. As a coach, you can only feel like get so far, and so the more you have these kids involved in taking that role, I think better off it is for your team. And so that's kind of what I've always tried to do, and so I think those kids have taken those steps and those roles to take on that leadership role.
Now, as you look at the team, one of the biggest problems that us and other small schools face is that you have players who are going to be playing essentially the entire game, playing both ways. How do you manage that fatigue in a game situation like against Kanab, like you'll be seeing the rest of the season? How do you keep players fresh while keeping your best guys in and keeping that best foot forward in tight contests?
Yeah, I mean, that is a challenge. It is. It's one of those that you experienced, I think, in these small schools. Again, you want to put your best athletes on there. I think we've tried to use a lot of young talent, so you'll see some sophomores out there to try to step in and give some of these kids a break. And so, and then just conditioning is one of those things. I mean, we don't do a ton in practice. It's one of those, we try to make our practice our conditioning so they play at full speed and try to get used to that. And trying to rest them as much as we can, and so that I wish I'd say, hey, we're the only team that has that. Other teams are dealing with it, so it's a matter of just getting a determination from these kids that they're playing both ways, of putting their 100% every single play, and if you're not, let's find somebody you can to give you a rest, and so that's kind of what we've been trying to do as best as we can.
Now, coming out of the Kanab game, what was the biggest takeaway for the coaching staff as a whole, both offensively and defensively? What was something you guys looked at and thought, you know what, we had a pretty good showing here, or we need to improve here? What was that takeaway?
I mean, offensively, I feel like, we saw a little bit from the same, last year AJ is just a tough kid. He ran the ball really well. He had some opportunities. He made the throws. Too many turnovers. That's one thing. I think if we can limit those, offensively, I think we're good. Defensively, it's probably the biggest takeaway. Like you say, I felt like our tackling was decent. That's one thing we've tried to work on a ton, but we got to get better at reading our keys and making sure we follow our keys. And so, there's always improvement. And so, the good things, I felt like we stayed healthy for the most part. I think we kind of learned that, some kids of what positions they're at. And so, but for the most part, I'm hoping we understand it takes a whole lot more than just to show up to play against good teams to be able to get a win. And so, we got to get a better mentality that way. But, I think our kids are working towards that.
Again, our guest, Emery High School head football coach John Famala. We just finished recapping last week's showdown against Kanab, and now we look ahead to the future. This week, the return of a cross-county rivalry facing off against the Carbon Dinos out in Castledale. It's always a big deal when these two teams meet, because it's a big community event, and along with that comes a lot of outside noise. How do you keep the team focused during a game like this where there's so many outside factors that are coming into play? How do you get them to focus, and how do you get them to stay strictly on the field?
I think for the most part, we start school, so that's a little bit of distraction, something that's a little bit different for them from their regular schedule from the summer. So for us, it's really honestly trying to prep them, game plans, making sure they understand kind of who the threats are, who do we need to control, and kind of get locked in that way. But, kids are kids. At the end of the day, you just got to hopefully get them locked in as much as you can, understanding their assignments and doing the best they can. But, there's only so much you can do.
And that's the truth. Kids are going to be kids, and they like to trash talk just a little bit. But looking at the on the field, you said you're trying to get them prepped for who those big damage dealers are going to be, especially on the offensive side. Who are you kind of looking out for from this Carbon team?
They run the ball really well. Little running backs, fullbacks, 23 and 2. They don't have names. They're good runners. Little Timothy kid, number 28, he's an explosive kid. Watching against that ALA team, and he's one of those big time threats. So he's one kid we got to make sure we keep under wraps because he can break it open pretty quick. He's one of those home run hitters, and so he worries me. Quarterback, they look like they may have had a little bit of things going on there, injuries or whatever. But both kids that I saw throw the ball threw the ball well, and so they're a good team. They got some really good skill players. They got some big kids that are really physical, and so expect them to bring it for sure.
Now, as with any season, especially entering into it at the start, you do deal with the injury bug just a little bit. How is the roster looking heading into this game?
It's those ones, the things we deal with all the time. Everybody's banged and bruised a little bit. But for the most part, I feel fortunate. I think we still got the people we need, and if anything, it gives some other kids some opportunity to step up and see what they can do. So, so far as I'm injury front, I think we're good.
Now, as a veteran coach, going on into 10 years as the head football coach out at Emery High, how do you approach a rivalry game? Do you just treat it like any other contest, or is there a little extra oomph that gets put into it as a coach? It's a preseason game for us. To me, as a coach, I got to take it as that. Certainly, the rivalry and all that being said, I think you got to approach it like any other game and prep the same way. I don't know if there's any other extra oomph that I can give these kids. I think they're motivated enough. If they're not, then they need to check themselves, because I think at the end of the day, they kind of know. We didn't play the game last year, and so you talk to anybody on our team, that's the game they're looking forward to. So I don't think there's anything I can say that way to get them hyped up. It's just more my part of, hey, let's get these kids prepared as best we can to be able to understand and know what they're trying to do, and see what we can take away and what we control, what we can control, and those about the only things that we can do as a football coach. Now, Coach, unfortunately, we are running out of time. But is there anything you want to leave our listeners off with?
No, I just appreciate reaching out and look forward to the game. It should be a good game, and hopefully everybody stays healthy, and it should be a good game.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to Friday, and as always, thank you again so much for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Aiden. Appreciate it.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Diagnostics?
Check.
Transmissions?
Check.
Oil changes?
Check. Checks Auto Repair. Honest, affordable, and customer-focused. Checks Auto Repair is new to the community, from diagnostics to engine repairs or any other service.
You get a flat hourly labor rate with no hidden fees.
771 East Main Street in Price. Follow Checks Auto Repair on Facebook. Call 630-6699. Check engine light?
Take it to Checks. The coffee shop on Main Street in Price has been your go-to spot for almost 2 decades. Whether it's a latte to start your morning, a refreshing cold brew in the afternoon, or a cozy chai on a chilly evening, we've got the perfect drink for any moment. Settle in with free Wi-Fi and plenty of seating, or let us bring it out to you with curbside delivery. With parking in the back, the coffee shop, Main Street in Price, where good days begin with great coffee. Don's Hometown Insurance and Price is ranked #1 on Google reviews, proof that real people value real hometown customer service. We're honored to set the standard, helping you find the right coverage with a caring local touch. Join your neighbors who count on Don's Hometown Insurance for friendly expertise and genuine support. Stop by or call us today at 637-3344. Experience the hometown difference everyone is talking about. Don's Hometown Insurance, where you always come first.
Imagine stepping foot into your dream home, the scent of fresh paint and the feel of plush carpet under your feet. Hi, this is Greg at the Driggs Mortgage Team. We make that dream come to life with our expert guidance and personalized financing solutions. Now closer to you at our new location in 23 South Carbon Avenue, Suite 21 in Price, because when it comes to financing your home, there's simply no substitute for experience.
What started on a workbench in 1948 has evolved into a business that is more than a jewelry store. It's part of the fabric of Springville.
It's Duke Jewelers. Fourth-generation owner Kimberly Narupe continues the legacy of her great-grandfather Melvin Duke and father Richard Holmes. Creating an engagement ring or reimagining an heirloom, Duke's design team brings your vision to life. It's about family, craftsmanship, and memories that shine through every piece. Duke's Jewelers.
South Main Street, Springville, at dukesjewelers.com.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Emery Spartan football.
Hunter Leffler, number 3. Branson Mortensen, 76.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back in to Emery Spartan football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. We are live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth. We're about 8 minutes away from opening kick here at Spartan Field as your Emery Spartans prepare to take on the Carbon Dinos. Aiden Mortensen alongside Justin Thornley on the call for you today. And Thornley, it's going to be a tale of two teams. Very similar starts to the season, very similar makeup. As we look at the Carbon Dinos, what are you expecting to see?
Yeah, I think Carbon's going to do a lot what they did in their game against ALA. They're going to run the ball efficiently and hopefully open up some plays downfield.
And they've got quite the 1-2 punch, a thunder and lightning duo in the backfield as Tager Timothy and Dexter Packard return from stellar junior campaigns and enter on to the field. Last week, Timothy was a force to be reckoned with. He put up 244 all-purpose yards along with 2 touchdowns, while Packard poured in a total of 108 yards, leading the team with 68 rushing. So taking the helm at quarterback, it's going to be a bit of a change. They're going to be looking to Camden Rigby. He was thrown in on short notice last week due to injury. However, he tossed for 109 yards and a touchdown after being tossed out of the frying pan and into the fire. Defensively, the offensive line of Emery going to have their task cut out for them as they look to face defensive end standout Andy Kiefer. He put up 2 sacks in his season debut. And then the linebacking core of Carbon, always stout. Ricky Sandoval ripped an interception out of the air, and Daxton Maurer led the team in tackles with 11. This is a scary group, especially defensively, but like we see with Emery, that secondary is where you start to see a little troubles coming. The Dinos gave up 2 big touchdown passes in their contest against ALA.
Yeah, that was kind of their downfall right there in that game, was just over the top. They did pretty good plugging up the middle and left some guys wide open over the top.
When you speak of woes over the top, the Emery Spartans also felt that. Grady Anderson, junior quarterback for Kanab, 9 of 10 on the day in passing for 5 touchdowns. You don't see stat lines like that very often, but anytime you do, your jaw drops a little because that is stellar quarterback play.
I couldn't believe how accurate he was. He was good.
He was extremely good. Some fast facts for the Carbon Dinos. Head coach Nick Milovich enters into his second year. They sit at an 0-1 record, running the gun tee offense and a 4-2-5 defense. Last time you saw the Dinos win a championship, well, that was all the way back in 1951. Carbon with a record all-time of 332 wins, 586 losses, and 22 ties. Found out today one of those ties came in the 1924 state championship game where they tied. And because there was no overtime rules, because there was no regulations at the time, they cut the game ball in half and gave it to both teams. Not very often do you get to see a state championship end in a tie.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. I bet that didn't happen very often.
Now let's look over at the Emery Spartans as they prepare to take the field. Captains lining up for Emery. You're going to be seeing the likes of Cray Leroy, Hunter Leffler, Miles Mortensen, and A.J. Thomas entering the fray for the Spartans. And Mortensen, he's going to be the anchor of this offensive line. A little reshuffling, so a much younger group taking place. Mortensen, the lone senior, playing left tackle.
Yeah, we're looking for a big game out of Miles today. He's got to show that leadership on the field.
He does, but he does have the supporting cast who has shown they will contribute. Emery's blocking last week, especially the pass protection, was stellar. Colton North, Peyton Johnson, Heath Lupo, and Elias Haskell all stepped up in big ways in that contest against Kanab, a team with a very potent pass rush.
That's the truth right there. They showed their strength right there on the front lines in the trenches. They gave AJ enough time.
And let's speak about what AJ was able to do. He really showed off his dual threat capabilities in the season debut. Passed for 129 yards and a touchdown, added another 76 on the ground. Anytime it felt like Kanab had him in their grasp, he was able to just worm and wiggle his way out and into a nice gain for the Spartans.
I thought AJ did a good job with his legs. When he felt the pressure, he tucked the ball and he took care of it.
He did, and that was something that really impressed me, was the lack of turnovers in the run game for Emery. A few interceptions coming their way, but you didn't see any fumbles from the Spartans, and that can make all the difference in a game like this that's going to be close as can be.
Yeah, we definitely have to take care of the ball. That's going to be essential today to take care of win the turnover game.
Now, defensively, Emery saw strong support from its linebacking group, Colton North and Heath Lupo. Sophomore defensive end Connor Nelson showing off the wheels in the second quarter of that showdown with Kanab, came away with a sack. It was one of the more impressive plays you've seen from a younger player on the varsity level.
I agree with that. The score didn't look like we had a good defensive game, but I thought that they actually played pretty okay.
Yeah, like you said, when you have a transcendent scoreline coming from the other team's quarterback, it's hard to have a score that looks in your favor. But it was a very competitive game throughout the first half and into the third quarter. So we're about to go into the national anthem here at Spartan Field. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back to put the final touches on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show and then be here for kickoff.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At Eastern Utah Community Credit Union, we're more than just a credit union. We're your trusted community partner. Whether you're opening a checking or savings account, applying for a loan, managing your finances with our Spirit debit card or credit cards, we've got you covered. Our friendly tellers and expert loan officers are here to help, and with virtual tellers available in our drive-up line, banking has never been easier. We offer home equity lines of credit, CDs, and a range of other services, all tailored to your financial needs. Visit us today and experience the difference at Eastern Utah Community Credit Union, where your goals are our priority.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Price Family Pharmacy has moved. Hi, this is Brian from Price Family Pharmacy, and we're excited to be in our new location, right next to Castleview Urgent Care on 100 North. Our new location brings exciting additions to our pharmacy, a convenient drive-thru, more parking, a spacious lobby, and we still have free delivery. Our team is here to offer you great services in our new, bigger, better space. Come by and visit us, and thank you for being part of our pharmacy family.
At Landon's Diesel,
Emery Spartan football.
Chas Sorensen, number 58.
Corbin Ward, wide receiver kicker.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into Emery Spartan football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. We're live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth, and we are here for kickoff. Corbin Ward, kickoff man for the Spartans, as they have elected to receive in the second half. The boot is up, and it goes soaring to the arms of Dexter Packer. Picks it up at the 10-yard line. He cuts back into the middle, fakes one man out, dives and forward, and he's able to cross past the 20 into the 21, where the Dinos will take over for the first possession of today's contest.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see Emery's defense first up. We'll see if they can get a stop right here on the first drive.
Now, when you look at Emery defensively, Thornley, what do you think the keys to the game are for the Spartans?
We've got to win the battle in the trenches.
And it always does come down to that. Two tough units lining up defensive line-wise and offensive line-wise for the Dinos. It's going to be an absolute brawl between these two. And I'm excited to see those two premier running backs for Carbon.
Yeah, we'll see if the D-line can get a hand on them and let our linebackers come up the middle and get the stop.
It's Rigby in the shotgun for the Dinos. One man behind him, one to his right. Quick pitch out to the left side. Goes into the arms. And he's driven down after about a 5-yard game. A good job getting to the outside. The left tackle's doing an excellent job. Making that big scamper for the Dinos was Dawson Johnson, the sophomore. We saw him a little bit in his freshman campaign, and he showed flashes of what he's capable of at the varsity level. And, well, a 5-yard game to start this game off. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, that was a good run by Carbon. There's a lot of Emery defenders in the area. Just couldn't quite get him down before a nice gain.
Again, it's going to be Rigby in the shotgun. Trips to his right, single man to his left, one in the backfield behind him. He drops back, surveys the floor, rolls to his right, throws, flag goes flying near the line of scrimmage, but the pass is incomplete. We'll see what the damage is. Holding penalties this early on in this position of the field can be deadly.
Yeah, you have to limit the penalties in this game. That's going to be key. I know it's an emotional game, but we have to limit the penalties on both sides of the field.
Yeah, no, because undisciplined football results in a very poor field position. And we're waiting for the official signal. They're moving the Dinos back, and looks like it will be, our suspicions confirmed, a hold against the Dinos.
Yeah. Anytime the quarterback has a little extra time in the backfield, you're watching for that.
You start to wonder. Especially once you start getting past 5 seconds, you start to think, how much time are they really being bought, or what's going on here? And the officials saw something fishy and threw the flag as a result. It's going to be Rigby again in the shotgun. One to his right, single man behind him, 2 receivers to either side. Handoff. It's a reverse. Goes to Johnson. He's tripped up in the backfield. An excellent defensive play from the Spartans. Fired up down on the field. A big-time play for Emery coming by way of Heath Lupo.
Yeah, I was going to say Heath Lupo stayed disciplined, stayed on that outside, and sniffed out that reverse.
And that's what you got to do. Disciplined play. I don't know if I would break out a reverse in this situation, backed up where you are, but a little trickery is to be expected in a rivalry showdown like this. So the Dinos face 3rd and a country mile, and it's going to be, again, Rigby in the shotgun. One running back to his right, single man behind him. 2 receivers to his right, one to his left. Snap spirals to his hands. He drops back. He's facing pressure from the Spartans defense. They're running him down near the end zone. He's able to get the ball out, goes soaring over the intended receiver. That was a good scramble, not an ideal result as the ball goes flying over the head of Packard, drops harmlessly to the ground. Carbon going to bring out the punt team.
Yeah, I think Emery sent both middle linebackers in on that to break up that pass play.
And it was a good pass rush. The offensive line did a good job holding him and buying Rigby all the time he could want, but in the end it wasn't enough. Pass ball's incomplete. So Dino's punt unit comes out onto the field. Spirals, kick is up, bounces, and gets a friendly Carbon bounce, rolls just past the 50-yard line. Emery going to be taken over at the 49-yard line, right near midfield, near that beautiful Spartan logo.
This is a great field, Aiden. If you haven't been to this field, you need to come and check it out. It's a pretty view and a really nice facility.
Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm always a little jealous when I see it that I didn't get to play on it. But, I'm glad that these kids do get to enjoy it and that the people of Emery County get to enjoy it, as the Spartans going to be taken over on the 49-yard line to start their first possession of the game. A.J. Thomas, your quarterback, in the backfield, and they're bringing out a different look. Now 2 backs next to him in the right and the left side. 2 receivers to his right, one to his left. Thomas, one man in motion. Takes the snap. Fake bubble screen. Throws the middle screen, caught, and it's a wide open lane. The Spartans are running down the field. Hunter Leffler breaks one tackle, runs into another, and a big first down for the Spartans off the fake bubble to the middle screen.
Aiden, I think that was kind of the emotions we were talking about. Carbon got a little over anxious. They didn't feel that release on the screenplay. All the defensive line bit, and a big result from that.
And as a defensive lineman, you always get so excited when you see green grass towards the quarterback, but you have to stay a little disciplined as Thomas lines up in the shotgun. 2 in the backfield. One receiver to his left, two to his right. Handoff goes up the middle. Leffler powers forward. What a run. Hunter Leffler, with no regard for human life, gets a gain of 11 yards, but a flag thrown on the play. Looked like it could be in the realm of a late hit.
Yeah, that's what I saw. We'll see what the officials say.
You can always tell based on how this direction of the ball starts moving, but Leffler looking like a completely different player after last week's contest.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of run support on last game, but that's the key to this game is we have to move the ball on the ground.
And it will be a face mask against the Dinos. That's going to move the Spartans a little bit closer to heaven's door. It's always exciting when we get to this juncture into the red zone. Only a few chances against Kanab for the Spartans, but now lined up on the 11-yard line. The official spots the ball, and now Emery has a chance to draw first blood.
Yeah, excited for this play right here. They have a lot of options open.
Thomas under center, one man behind him, two to his right, takes the snap, handoff goes outside, jet sweep action, sniffed out immediately, and a pile of bodies knocks him into the middle of next week. A loss of one on the play for the Spartans. They try to get the handoff going to Trey Nilsson, but the Dinos had that one figured out. Not enough hook on the offensive line.
Agreed. Just need to steal that edge a little bit, and he's got a lot of grass in front of him.
Now again, the Spartans break out, facing a 2nd and 11 following the loss on first down. Emery got AJ in the shotgun. Trips to his right, two men to his left, empty backfield for Thomas as the snap spirals his way. Immediate keep, direct snap. He plows forward, and he picks up the loss and then some. A gain of, we'll call it 7 on the play for AJ. 76 rushing yards last week, looking to pick up right where he left off.
That's the threat that we have with AJ right there is that, no one in the backfield except for AJ, and he gets a good gain on that play.
And the Spartans continue powering forward. AJ empty backfield again, trips to his right, single man to his left. Carbon looks blitz. AJ direct snap again. This time he weaves, he winds, and he's in for the touchdown. AJ Thomas with the 7-yard scamper out for the touchdown. And the Spartans strike first in this rivalry showdown. The legs of AJ and Leffler bring Emery to the promised land.
That is exactly what Emery wanted to do to start this football game. Show that they can move the ball and capitalize when they get the opportunities.
Now out to kick the extra point will be Corbin Ward. Holding it for him will be AJ as the Spartans bring out the special teams unit. The snap spirals to the holder, laces up, flags go flying. They're going to be doing this one all over again. It's a bit of Groundhog Day action at Spartan Field.
Yeah, get a little anxious. Offsides on the defense there. We'll kick it again.
And, always fun seeing how these extra plays can go wrong. This is where you can break out a little more of that creativity if you're feeling it. Go for a 2-point conversion, but looks like Emery going to move just a touch closer. Always feels easier, but in reality, not the case. You're never practicing from this close.
Yeah, it's a little different look for your kicker.
As again, Ward lines up to take it. Snap. AJ takes it. He throws it. The toss is in and good to Nate Yost, the sophomore, with the 2-point conversion. Emery says we're not risking it. And instead of 1, put 2, and 8-0 climbs the score for the Spartans.
I think Emery probably had that play in the books from the first. The penalty just reinforced it.
Absolutely. Gave them all that extra confidence they needed. We'll take a quick break and then be back with more Spartan football right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Price Family Pharmacy has moved. Hi, this is Brian from Price Family Pharmacy, and we're excited to be in our new location, right next to Castleview Urgent Care on 100 North. Our new location brings exciting additions to our pharmacy, a convenient drive-thru, more parking, a spacious lobby, and we still have free delivery. Our team is here to offer you great services in our new, bigger, better space. Come by and visit us, and thank you for being part of our pharmacy family.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
So the Spartans go up 8-0 as they kick off to the Dinos. It goes up, and it's received by Packard for the Dinos. He sprints past the 20 towards midfield, almost breaks through, but he's brought down at the 35-yard line. A pile of humanity as Packard pinballs off of defenders to set the Dinos up on the 35-yard line. Feels like it's answer back time for Carbon.
they've definitely got to get some ball movement right here. They've got to show that they can move the ball as well. They went backwards in their first drive, and we don't want to. They can't be doing that all game.
Yeah, especially that holding penalty. It was devastating for the Dinos as they were driven back on the play. But now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line as it's Rigby in the shotgun. Packard to his right, Johnson behind him, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He takes the snap, handoff goes up the middle, sells it very well. Johnson barrels forward, pickup of about 5 on the play. Deja vu to the last Dino set. They started in identical fashion. Dawson Johnson with a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, we're going to have to contain him up the middle a little bit better if we want to stop that 5-yard gain. That's what they got in their first play from scrimmage of the game, and then they started going backwards. So let's see if they can keep it together right here and keep the drive going.
And that's what they're going to need to do. One thing that's been consistent in this rivalry showdown series is when the Dinos get down, if they cannot bounce back, it snowballs into something much worse as Rigby in the shotgun takes the snap, handoff up the middle, goes Packard. Packard with green grass in front of him, breaks right, and he is wide open to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He nearly is tripped up, and he barrels in for a touchdown. My goodness, what a run from 60 yards out coming from Dexter Packard.
Yeah, he did that with his legs. He had some guys make some key blocks on the D-line, or key blocks on the D-lineman, and then he broke that free with his legs and got around a couple of guys.
And that's what Packard does so well. He's patient in the running game. He takes a few stutter steps and then drives forward a cut left and then drives to his right, and he's able to go all the way to the promised land. Carbon only takes 2 plays to get back into this one. It's an 8-6 ball game pending the extra point. Kicking for the Dinos is going to be Eli Chili, the kicking specialist, punter and kicker for this squad. As the snap is set, spirals face forward. He kicks up, and he chips that one in. It's good. So the Dinos make it a near even affair. 8-7 sits the score following the 2-play 65-yard drive coming by way of the Dinos. What a turnaround for this offense.
Yeah, that's exactly what Emery wanted, or that's exactly what Carbon needed to do, is answer on that drive. To keep this a competitive game, they've got to stay in it and score point for point.
This is going to be a game of who can make that first big run. It feels like that will be the difference maker for who will come away with the coveted Coal Bucket Trophy. Sitting us right next to us here in the booth. Lots of yellow on this trophy, little blue and white. So Carbon looking to tack one more year on to this memento.
The Coal Bucket sat in the Emery High office for quite a few years. Teaching at the school, I see it quite often. Carbon trying to gain that back tonight.
Last time they had that in their possession was back in 2018, Thornley. That was the last time we saw the Dinos come away with victory. It was 16-9 in that contest, and with how quickly both teams have scored, it feels like we're going to have a much higher scoring affair as Chili lines up for the kick, and it soars up high, arcing kick, and drops into the waiting arms of the Spartans. They barrel forward, and they get brought down at about the 26-yard line. So a marginal carry coming for Emery as Jesse Drage tries to bring it forward. Spartans going to be set up on the 27-yard line.
Good coverage there from Carbon. That kick went a long ways in the air. They had time to get under there and swarm him up.
Good kicking is such an underrated aspect of high school football. It feels if you have a good kicker, then you can do just about anything, and you can place the other team wherever you'd like on these kickoffs. As this time, Spartans far less favorable position as they go trips to the right. AJ in the shotgun. Leffler to his right and a single man to the left of him. Sends a man in motion. That's Nielsen. Duos on each side, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, jet screen to Leroy. Leroy up along the sideline, spins out of one tackle. He's still going, barrels forward, and they're going to call it a gain of about 8 on 9. They're going to call it 9 on the play, so that will be a near first down for the Spartans. Thomas showing that he can get it done through the air as well, and he finds his favorite target from last week, Cray Leroy.
Yeah, we like to see that play working for Emery. It's an extension of the run game that they use for that quick screen out to the outside, and we need to get moving the ball with that one.
Similar set for the Spartans. Trips to the left this time as Thomas takes the snap, hands off the middle up to Leffler. Puts his hand on the back. He barrels forward, drops the shoulder for another 3, and a big diving run for Leffler as they pick up about 10 on the play. Leffler, 2 carries for 21 yards in the contest.
Great run, great blocks up front on that right side of that O-line.
Now, we saw both these teams have stellar run defenses last week. This week looks like polar opposite, and they're just barreling forward. It's a fun to see old-fashioned smash-mouth football as Thomas in the shotgun. Duos to his right, single man to his left, two in the backfield, man in motion. It's Leroy. Handoff, goes jet sweep. They have a corner, but the flag flies. That one's definitely coming back. A second flag is thrown as well. That's going to be a major loss for the Spartans off the penalty. And, yep, it is going to be a hold against the Spartans 10 yards from the spot of the foul. I think that's what makes holding such a vicious call is it's not 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's 10 yards from the spot.
You're right, Aiden. That's why it's so devastating to offenses, and it's a drive killer.
It really is, and it could show here as now the Spartans, 1 point facing a 1st and 10, now face a 1st and 21. The ball sits on the 37-yard lines. Thomas in the shotgun, Duos to his right and his left. Leffler to his right in the backfield. Spartans got 5 up front. Thomas takes the snap, and he rolls to his right, bootleg action. He's got a man to beat, throws a deep bomb downfield, caught, toe-tapping catch. We'll see. And they are going to say he made it. What a grab out of the air from Kai Witzel. My goodness, a Superman action, an acrobatic toe tap along the sideline. Spartans gain almost all of that back in a single go.
Great field awareness by Witzel right there to be able to get 1 foot down. That's all he could get, but that's all we need in this stage.
Yeah, that's all you need as Thomas lines up in the shotgun. Trips to his right, single man to his left, Leffler to his right in the backfield. Handoff goes up the middle. This time going to be met near the goal, the line to get. Officials mull it over.
They're going to give him forward progress, I think, Aiden.
They're going to give him forward progress. Officials standing right, and they are going to move those chains. So a Spartan first down off a nice two-yard run coming from Hunter Leffler. 3 runs for 23 yards today. He has been spectacular. He was held quiet in his season opener, but now showing what he is capable of. As duos to either side yet again, single man in the backfield with Thomas. He takes the snap, drops back, flag goes flying immediately. He navigates the pocket, breaks free. Thomas breaks 1 tackle and dives forward. It would be a gain of about 7, however, flag flies near the line of scrimmage and the pile, more than likely going to be a hold.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to come back on Emery. Illegal shift, maybe?
Illegal shift, a procedure penalty against the Spartans, going to drive them back 5 yards. So much less damaging than what you'd see from a hold, however, still unideal.
Yeah, flag came out real early. I figured it was going to be a procedure something where they didn't blow it dead. It had to be an illegal shift, someone moving a little bit too early or not getting quite set.
Yeah, so down remains at first, but now it's 1st and 15, setting up on the 48-yard line. The Spartans in Dino territory. Trips to the right, single man to the left. Thomas with Leffler to his left, fakes the handoff, he drops back, he rolls to his left, he's got pressure facing him, and he has a wide open running lane, though, nearly tackled at the line of scrimmage. It was a good diving grab by Max Tuscher, however, unable to wrap up AJ as he was able to barrel forward for a pickup of 3.
He was in trouble right there and used his legs to get outside and make a positive pickup, gets all the penalty yards back, plus some.
And that's what AJ needs to be doing in this game. He's so confident with his run game. You'll love to see what he's capable of when he gets moving.
Especially a big quarterback back there.
Now Thomas in the shotgun yet again. Duos to either side. Leffler right behind him. Takes the snap, and they run the option. He fakes the pitch, and he barrels past the line of scrimmage. AJ navigating it like a Navy veteran. Gain of 3 on the play for AJ, but he does an excellent job selling the fake pitch to Leffler.
That was a good sell. We didn't see that play last week. So throwing a little different offense look for us. I like it. I like the option.
We saw them warming up with that play, and we questioned if they were going to break it out in the game. And, well, there's our answer, Thornley, as the Spartans face a 3rd and 3 to go. Leffler and Thomas in the shotgun, duos to either side. Handoff goes up the middle. Leffler barrels forward. He's not going to be stopped before he reaches the 27-yard line. An excellent run from Leffler. We'll give him 8 on that one.
Emery pulled their tackle around as a lead blocker there, but Miles came around. He didn't even need to touch anyone. That hole was wide open for Leffler up the middle.
And as a running back, you got to love when you see that. And as a lineman, you have to get up and you have to go to that next level. Linebacker safeties, they go down a lot easier than a fellow lineman. So the Spartans keep on marching downfield. A sustained drive. Clock sits at 4:12. 8-7 the score in favor of Emery. Thomas with trips to his right, single man to his left, man in motion. Officials blow the whistle. Haven't seen that little piece of yellow fabric go flying yet. However, looks like it's going to be an official timeout. Probably blood on the part of Leffler.
I think that's Thomas.
Oh, Thomas, excuse me. As he runs off and a quick timeout on the field. So we'll do a game set real quick. Emery up over the Carbon Dinos, 8-7 the score. 4 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter of action. And what an action-filled first 8 minutes of this contest it's been. Back and forth between both of them as the Spartans back onto the field. It's going to be Drake Stilson in at quarterback in the stead of Thomas as he is taped up. Takes the snap, jet screen out to the right side. Bobbled and unable to grasp it. Trey Nelson can't get a hold of it. If he did, he'd be good for a pickup of about 5 on the play. Instead, down moves to 2nd and 10.
That's a lot of trust in your backup quarterback right there. Put the ball in his hands and let him throw a pass out to the outside. Just a little bobble on the reception, or we would have gained some positive yards there.
And like you said, this bubble screen is an extension of the run game for the Spartans. So you feel very confident in running that play. You drill it constantly. That time just was unable to come up with the grasp in the game situation. Now Thomas back in for the Spartans in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff goes Leffler up the middle. Barrels forward, and he is met by a pileup. They knock him down. And he is brought down for a gain of about 3 on the play. So Leffler's good running day continues. Everyone loves to see the big breakaway runs. However, you only need 3 to 4 yards of play.
You're exactly right, Aiden. That's what I want to see. I want to see him pound in the middle of the field, gaining positive yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the Spartans facing a 3rd and 7 lineup with trips to the right, single man to the left. Thomas in the shotgun. Leffler to his right side this time. Gives the clap. Here's the snap. Drop back. Throw. Quick pass to Leroy. Leroy barrels forward, tiptoeing along the sideline. Will it be enough? And it's looking like it's going to be roughly a yard short. So decision time for the Spartans as they face a 4th and 1.
We've been spoiled the last couple of years with Jaden Atwood as our place kicker. I think Emery's going to go for it right here. Pick up a yard.
Yeah, especially with a big-bodied quarterback like Thomas who's shown he can run, go under center, goose and go, pick up that extra yard. But it looks like Carbon stacking the box, a plethora of defenders ready to go. This time Thomas in the shotgun. And they line up, they shift into the jumbo formation. Thomas goes under center, gives the go, and he dives forward. He's got it and then some. A lunge forward from AJ gives Emery the first down.
Great push by Peyton Johnson and Colton North in the middle. AJ finds that seam and looks to have picked up the first down.
And the officials standing there, they're spotting the ball. And they're calling out the chains as close as can be. I was a former chain ganger myself, and I ran the little clippy thing that they put on the 5-yard line. That was a harrowing job because you knew in a moment like this, and every other moment, your job was irrelevant until this very moment. They're going to line it up. They're going to stretch the chains out and see if we have enough for a Spartan first down or if the Dinos defense bends but doesn't break and get another chance to take the lead.
Yeah, big spot right here. I ran the chains for a lot of years as well, Aiden, and it's kind of stressful. On this new field, you don't see it a lot.
You don't, no. This field's very well marked. Let's see. They're measuring still.
Short
by a good distance, it looks like. A good few inches from that nose of the ball. So the Dinos defense comes up big in the red zone, forces the turnover on downs, and they'll have a chance to take the lead. Score sits 8-7 in favor of Emery. Carbon starts with the ball on their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, we have an angle view. I thought he had that pretty easy.
I thought so too, but that's the unfortunate part of being in the broadcast booth. We don't have multi-camera angles. We can't zoom into the sideline as much as I wish we could. So it will be Carbon taking over on the 17-yard line. They got a long march in front of them of 83 yards. Last time it took 2 plays to go 65. And it looks like Rigby will again be in the shotgun. Duos to the left, 2 in the backfield. 1 receiver out to the right side. Rigby takes the snap, handoff goes up the middle. This time the Spartans defense got the fumble. Body's on the floor. Waiting for the official signal. And they're going to say he is down before the fumble.
Fortunate for Carbon right there.
That is a lucky break. Packard goes barreling forward, but ball goes bouncing out as he's brought to the ground. Instead, it's just a pickup of 1. So 2nd and 9 for the Dinos. Rigby lining up in the shotgun. Trips to his right, single man to his left. 1 man in the backfield right behind him. Takes the snap. Bubble screen out to the right side. Spartans swarm around it. Immediately brought down. A big hit as the Spartans sniffed that one out immediately for a gain of about 2 on the play. Unable to get much.
Yeah, Kai Witzel wallops the receiver. He came in and hit him hard for the stop on that screenplay.
And that's one thing we knew about Kai is he is a hard hitter. He's not afraid of that contact, and it shows on a hit like that. Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Dinos. Emery with their 4-man front now. 2 in the middle with a plethora of corners and safeties behind him. Trips to the left for the Dinos as Rigby takes the snap. He's eyeing downfield. He faces pressure. He runs to his right, dumps it, nearly picked off, and a flag flies. Packard, the intended receiver, broken up by Nate Yost. Yost, the sophomore, having a good game, gets the 2-point conversion in the pass breakup here.
Yeah, that was a great play by Yost. He stepped in front of that ball. Disappointed with himself. He thought he had it. Holding penalty, it looks like, on Carbon.
Holding against Carbon. If I'm Emery, I'm not taking this. You get the 4th
Obviously.
down, you take the punt. It would be ridiculous to see such a thing, and it looks like Emery recognizes that fact as they send back Leroy for the punt reception in front of him. It's going to be Drake Stilson. So punt team comes out for both sides. It's going to be Chili for the Dinos. Last time they punted, it was in this very same situation. Spartans were able to set up near the 50-yard line. They barreled downfield to take this 8-7 lead. We got 1:09 left here in the first quarter of action. So Chili lines up as the snap spirals his way. The catch, the kick is up. High arcing punt. It is spinning in a favorable position. Bounces backwards into the arms of Coach Morty. Going to go out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So inside Dinos territory, do the Spartans start?
Yeah, that's a good stand by the Emery defense. You know, when we think about that turnover on downs, we really only lost about 30 yards.
Yeah, that was a very good defensive stand and just what Emery needed after a disappointing end to their offensive possession. Now a chance to go and do it again as the Dino defense retakes the field. 40 yards between Emery and Paydirt and Thomas in the shotgun. Empty backfield. Duos to his left, trips to his right. AJ operates very well in the empty look. Gives the clap. The snap follows. He drops back, looks to his left. He throws downfield. Wide open man pulled in. It looks like it's Trey Nelson. Goes barreling forward. The 15, the 10, and he's tripped up. A toe string tackle coming by way of Caden Dunn. The senior saves what was surely going to be a Spartan touchdown.
We haven't seen that set from Emery, a straight drop back pass, and Trey Nelson able to get in the flat wide open and then get it done with his legs.
That was quite the spectacular run. A gain of about 29 on the pass. First reception of the game for Nelson. AJ racking up the passing yards already as he goes into a duo formation. Leffler to his right side. Takes the snap in the shotgun. Rolls to his right. Bootleg action. Delivers the dime. Caught into the end zone. Who else but Cray Leroy on the receiving end for another Emery touchdown. What a drive from the Spartans from disappointment to dynasty.
2 plays. That's all they needed from the 40-yard line. 2 plays and another 6 points.
And a spectacular throw coming from AJ. Another gain of 11 on that play from him. I love seeing Leroy operate in open space. He is excellent when he can get no man on him, and he's good at losing those defenders as well.
Great route, and AJ put the ball exactly where he needed it.
Ward lines up for the extra point. AJ, the holding man again, gives the go-ahead signal. Kick is up. barely floats over the middle bar, low as you can get without tapping it, and it goes in for an Emery score. So with 31 seconds left in quarter number 1, the Spartans claim a 15-7 lead when we return with more Emery football action.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
Emery Spartan football.
Hunter Leffler, number 3. Branson Mortensen, 76.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Emery Spartan football, KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. Aiden Mortensen, Justin Thornley with you as the Spartans take 2 plays to claim a 15-7 advantage in this rivalry showdown against the Dinos. Here comes Ward with the kick. It's a big boot out to the 5-yard line. The kick is caught, and they're going to bring it forward. The Dinos get to about the 26-yard line, barreling forward. It was the likes of Callan Donaldson, the sophomore kick returner, wearing number 20. The Spartans today rocking the black on white on gold look. The Dinos looking sharp in their white jerseys and blue pants with the white stripes. So the away look always looking nice. I've always been a fan, unfortunately, of that carbon color scheme. They've got a really nice look.
It does pop on the field. I really like it too.
Now Rigby going to be the man in the backfield for the Dinos. Trips to his right, single man to his left, one in the backfield. He's in the shotgun. He gives the go-ahead, takes the snap, pitch out to the left side, finds Caden Dunn. Dunn barrels forward, and he is brought down, but not before a pickup of 3 on the play.
Great blocking on the outside by Carbon. Emery swarms it, limits the damage.
And the Dinos trying to get that hook block set the edge on those outside runs, and they've had mixed success. We've seen much more success coming from them on the inside runs as that clock ticks down to 0 here in the first quarter. So at the end of 1, the Emery Spartans up 15-7 over the Carbon Dinos. We're going to flip the field and then be right back with more here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Call insurance agent.
Hello, customer.
Oh, great. I just had a quick question about my insurance.
You are 312th in line.
Oh, it's just a real quick question.
Would you like a callback in 6 hours?
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Hey, Max, I can answer your insurance question.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Jill Jensen in Price today.
Emery Spartan football.
Chas Sorensen, number 58.
Corbin Ward, wide receiver kicker.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back in to Emery Spartan football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth at the end of 1. Emery up over cross-county rival Carbon Dinos 15-7. 12 minutes to go in the first half of action as it's going to be the Dinos with the ball. They're facing a second and 7 out of the break. Rigby sends a man in motion, takes the snap, makes the handoff, gives it up the middle. This time swallowed up by a slew of Spartans. Lots of big hits coming by way of Seth Martin and Lincoln Huntington. Offensive linemen and defensive linemen flying up the middle from the underclass.
That's what we like to see, swarming that ball. They weren't tricked at all on that play. Gathered him up, lost the yards.
You know, I thought it was going to be a fake up the middle initially. However, that was where the handoff turned out to be as they're driven back 2 yards on the play. So 3rd and 9 now facing the Dinos as Carbon breaks the huddle. A Spartans defense, a stout Spartans defense standing in front of him. Rigby sends trips to his left, single man close to his right, playing a tight end. Running back in the back. Emery signaling blitz. Takes the snap, and they send 6 forward. Rigby hit as he throws, but a catch made. Emery secondary strips the ball A pile of humanity, a roll of madness, as neither team able to get a full grasp on the ball. Carbon does come up with it after a gain, a desperation heave coming from Camden Rigby. Sets the Dinos up with a 4th and 4 in their own territory as it looks the punt team comes out yet again.
Looks like Colton North hurried that throw a little bit. Made the reception, just not quite enough yards. Good defense from the secondary for Emery.
I do have to give props to Carbon, though. Being able to be under all that pressure and still make a completion, that takes a lot of guts. As Chili takes the snap, the kick is up. Goes soaring, a big booming kick, bounces at the 20-yard line, gets a dino bounce, and it continues to roll down to the 6-yard line. So 94 yards between Emery and the end zone after a great kick from Eli Chili.
That came off the foot, and it was going a long ways. We could see it in the booth that ball was soaring.
You know, it's always impressive when you get a good kick like that at the high school level. But now the Spartans looking to build on their lead. We talked about how important it was to be the first team to go on a run of any kind, and Emery set up with the chance to do that, just that now.
The defense gives them the opportunity to go and drive the field.
So the Spartans going to break out their spread offense yet again as they huddle near their own goal line. Best case scenario here for the Dinos is either you force the turnover right here or you go for the safety. So it's going to be Thomas in the shotgun, trips to his left, single man to his right, Leffler to his left in the backfield. Surveys the field and takes the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. Goes to Hunter. Hunter breaks one tackle, breaks another, tiptoes the sideline. No one's within range. He gets to the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Emery. What a run from Hunter Leffler. Breaks one, breaks two, and breaks the heart of the Dinos fans on the opposing sideline as he barrels for a 96-yard touchdown run.
We have seen success on that right side tonight, and he just made that happen. Had a flag come in, looked on the Emery sideline. Big run by Leffler, though.
That was a massive run and looks like not going to be any impact on the actual play. They are signaling touchdown for the Spartans, a sideline warning going against Emery. So got to keep them a little bit further away, but nonetheless, 96 yards to the house, and Hunter Leffler barrels through. My goodness, what a run.
Yeah, I was just going to say Emery's worst field position to start a possession, and we erased that right off the bat.
Can't go wrong with that as Ward's kick is up, clears the bottom bar, and it is good for an Emery extra point, 22-7, following the 96-yard sprint to the promised land, coming by way of Hunter Leffler. What a run from that young man, 130 rushing yards, and we're only in the first half. In the second quarter, Leffler making up for any doubts that may have been left on the field last week against Kanab.
I was really concerned about our running game against Kanab, but we're seeing a different running game from Emery in this game.
And, you know, I think we do have to put things into context with how talented the Kanab Cowboys actually are. It's not like we're playing Joe Schmo off the street. These were the reigning 1A champions, and they played like it.
That was a good team. Emery did a decent job. I think we said that throughout the whole broadcast, was that Emery was showing a lot of promise. Kanab just had the experience.
So now the Spartans set to kick with the 22-7 advantage. 10 minutes, 2 seconds left to go here in the first half of action. Corbin Ward, the man back to kick for the Spartans yet again. Receiving man for the Dinos include Dexter Packard as well as Callan Donaldson. Kick is up. It's received by Packard on the right side. They're going left to right on your radio dial. He cuts up the middle, faces 3 or 4 Spartans. First to make contact for Emery's Kai Leroy, the freshman, playing kickoff. And this is a great way to show the coaches what you are all about.
Special teams, a good chance for those young kids to get on the field and get some varsity experience and lay a hit on someone.
You know, that's the most fun part of football, so always exciting when you see that. It's a bit of a lower level roster for the Spartans this year when it comes to age. Very few seniors on the squad, but numerous freshmen and sophomores. And as such, a lot of players are going to have 4 years of varsity experience as Carbon goes on to the field. Duo to the right, single man to the left, 2 in the backfield as Rigby goes into the shotgun formation. They're set up at the 29-yard line. Rigby the snap. Handoff goes up the middle, breaks one tackle, and before being brought down, it's Dawson Johnson, the sophomore. Every time he's touched the ball for Carbon, it's been a net positive.
Positive game for Carbon. They need to limit the damage here. Settle in, let the emotions go, and they need a sustained drive right here.
Yeah, right now it is mentally the breaking point. If you cannot score here and you allow another touchdown from the Spartans, halftime adjustments are hard to make when you feel deflated on the field. So it's crucial that if Carbon wants to stay in, they will score this drive. As Rigby again in the shotgun, 2nd and 5. Duos to his right, one man to his left, two in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff goes up the middle, barreling forward, runs into his own lineman, but not before a gain of 3. So trying to get something going. It's Johnson again, and another positive gain of 3 yards. 3rd and 3, a 5-yard gain, a 3-yard gain. You feel good about your chances running the ball here.
Yeah, it opens up a manageable 3rd down right here.
So the Spartans facing a tough situation, trying to disallow a Carbon first down. Carbon looking to put some wind back in the sails. It's going to be Rigby again. This time, trips to the left with Johnson in the backfield right behind him. Single man out to the right side in the shotgun. It's Rigby. Takes the snap. Quick pitch goes to the left side. Johnson goes barreling forward. Can he reach it? It looks like he does break the plane. They're going to give it to him. A gain of 4 for Dawson Johnson, the sophomore, slowly taking over.
Did what he needed to do right there. He knew where the penalty or where the marker was, and he got the few yards he needed.
That's the thing I've liked about Johnson so far in this game is he is unafraid to put his body on the line for the greater good of this team.
Yeah, you're right, Aiden. He laid a hit down on there, a couple of big guys colliding, and that's what I like about football.
It's so much fun as Rigby goes again into the shotgun. This time, similar look. Duos to his right, one man to his left, two in the backfield. As he takes the snap in the shotgun, handoff again goes up the middle. Johnson breaks one tackle, gets driven back, stiff arms another, comes running down, and he is brought down eventually. Dawson Johnson with a mighty run, but he goes east to west, not north to south, as Cray Leroy brings him down for a gain of 2. If he would have been running upfield, you think he would have picked up 3 or 4 more yards.
Yeah, that was a strong run. He ran through a couple of tackles, and they didn't look like bad tackles on Emery. He was just able to run through them.
Now, the strength that the sophomore has on display right now is truly remarkable. You can tell the summer weights program he took very seriously. As the Dinos break the huddle, it's going to be duos to the right, single man to the left with a tight end, and 2 in the backfield. Rigby in the shotgun takes the snap, and it's going to be a reverse this time. A little more fortunate. Spins out of one tackle. Drives forward, continues to move. It's Tager Timothy, and he moves that pile, keeps the feet churning, and he goes all the way for a Dinos first down. Tager, like we talked about last game, was stellar for the Dinos. 244 all-purpose yards, an underutilized weapon so far this game. Now breaking free.
Yeah, looks like Carbon's starting to settle down. Nerves are gone for the rivalry game. He drove that pile about 6 yards, Aiden.
22-7 sits the score. Emery in the lead. 7-10 and ticking on the scoreboard as Carbon breaks the huddle. It's going to be Rigby. Same formation as last go around. 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 2 in the backfield. As he waits, signals for the snap, takes it, drops back, faces edge pressure, a throw, goes soaring over the head, and if not, it would have been Corbin Ward laying down a brutal hit stick as Jaden Powell, the intended receiver for the Dinos, can't get anything going. Miles Mortensen in the backfield, but the long arms of Andy Kiefer bring him crashing down to earth. Good offensive line play from the Dinos.
We haven't mentioned Kiefer's name yet, but I expect him to be a big factor in this game.
If the Dinos are to try and make a comeback, he's going to be crucial in what they're going to try and accomplish. As Carbon breaks out of the huddle, 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line, 6:55 on the clock. Rigby this time only one man behind him, trips to his left, single man to his right, takes the snap, pitch out to the left side. They build the edge very well as Johnson goes barreling forward, but a flag goes flying, and based on where that lies, it's more than likely going to be a holding and sending us 10 yards back.
Yeah, it looks to be a hold on Carbon.
And yep, it will be a hold against the Dinos. So instead of facing a 3rd and 5, it goes to 2nd and 20. Devastating. Like we talked about, it's a drive-killing penalty when that holding call comes out.
It really is. It's so hard for these O linemen to seal that block for a slower developing play on the outside edge. Got a little bit too much of his defender there, and flag comes out.
So the Spartans up 22-7 over the Dinos, 6:35 and running. Carbon onto the field. There go. Trips to the right this time. Similar formation to what we saw from that jet sweep, as it's going to be Rigby in the shotgun, one man behind him. Surveys the field, takes the snap, and bubble screen out to the left side. Finds Jaden Powell. Ball hits the ground. And that's going to be whistled dead before I had a chance to even get going. So now a 3rd and 20 situation faces the Dinos as they line up on their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, that holding penalty just kills this drive. Now you're looking at 3rd and 20. Not a lot of plays in your playbook for 3rd and 20, Aiden.
No, you don't really game plan for a 3rd and 20. You have 1 or 2 deep bombs, but you limit what you're able to do. And as someone who got a plethora of holding penalties myself, let me tell you, the impact it has on you mentally, it can completely change your mindset. As a timeout whistled on the field, the Dinos going to take one. We'll take it with them. 22-7, the Emery Spartans in the lead with 6:22 and ticking here in the first half of action. We'll be right back on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Discover the strength and beauty of Flawless Sheeting's metal siding and roofing solutions. Designed to endure and crafted to conserve energy, the products offered by Flawless Sheeting ensure your home not only looks good, but feels good too. Plus, they come with a 40-year warranty. Enjoy superior durability and enhanced comfort year-round with new roofing from Flawless Sheeting. Ready to upgrade? Call Flawless Sheeting at 636-7300 and elevate the way you live.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into Emery High School football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. Emery up 22-7 over cross-county rival, the Carbon Dinos, as they have the ball facing 3rd and 20. Rigby takes the snap. He drops back. He's eyeing downfield, faces heavy pressure, and he is brought down. What a rush from the Spartans. A whole bunch of them getting in the way, but based on the celebration, I think we can tell who made first contact, and that's Jet Ward, the sophomore.
Yeah, I think Connor Nielsen in on that play. But yeah, there was 5 guys in the backfield. Had some time. Secondary did their job. No one was open, and Emery comes away with a sack on the quarterback.
So punt team comes out for the Dinos, as now a loss of 6 comes from the sack. 4th and 26. Chilly to punt for the Dinos. He had a big booming kick last time, looking to replicate that success as it goes up, and away. Caught at the 27-yard line. It's caught by Drake Stilson. He signals the fair catch, and he jogs back to the sideline. Good starting position for the Spartans. Not bad, not great, but you'll take it.
Yeah, we'll definitely take field position on that. Once again, the penalty on Carbon stalled that drive.
So now the Spartans take over on their own 28-yard line. And last time it only took them 1 play to score the big booming 96-yard touchdown run from Hunter Leffler, who now has 130 rushing yards on the game along with a touchdown. So the Spartans break the huddle, trips to the left, single man to the right, Leffler to the left of Thomas, sends a man in motion. That's going to be Yost. Takes the snap, bubble screen out to the left side. It's caught by Drage. Drage barrels forward, breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, loses the ball, and a pile up. We'll see who it goes in favor of, but a flag also on the field. So fumble was recovered by the Spartans. A gain of 5 from Drage, but the flag called back. It's holding. Going to be 1st and 20 for the Spartans.
Drage, that's the risk. The ball ends up on the field. He fights for yards, and Carbon defender punches that ball out. Fortunate, able to get a hold of it, but like you said, holding penalty is going to back us up.
Yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, all that effort for naught, as the Spartans now face a deficit. Instead of the 28-yard line, they'll be set up on the 18. So both teams walk it back as the pep band of the Spartans rocks the house. A very talented group led by Mr. Dave Bird. Always fun to hear the sound of the Spartans.
Yeah, they've done a great job. The band is a motivated group, and they can turn the tide in an emotional game.
So the Spartans break the huddle facing a 1st and 20. Duos to the left. It's man in motion. Now it's 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Tight end look for the Spartans as a flag is thrown. We'll see who made the procedural penalty based on where the ball flies, and it's going against the Spartans. So now a 1st and 20 to a 1st and 25. 2 penalties in a row for the Spartans takes the ideal field position to the unideal as they now look at a 1st down and 25 starting on the 15-yard line.
Go in the wrong direction.
Trips to the right now for Emery, single man to the left. Thomas in the shotgun. Leffler to his right, gives the clap. Here's the snap, throws the bubble screen out to the right, cut back left, now moving forward. Brought down after a gain of 2. Ball comes rolling out. Carbon signaling they have it. We'll see what the officials have to say as they work to clear the pile like you talked about. Big risk coming when you run that bubble screen, trying to fight for those extra yards because you can lose that ball extremely easily. And it's going to just be a simple 2nd down and 24 to go for the Spartans. So they avoid disaster, but still an uphill battle awaits.
Another flag just fly on the field, Aiden.
Well, based on where it's placed, if this is a second sideline warning against the Dinos, that will be a penalty against the Dinos. So we're talking things over now. Looks like they're going to just wave that one off. So the Spartans will line up. Trips to the right, single man to the left. Thomas in the shotgun sends a man in motion. That's Leroy. Takes the snap. Now looks to his left. Throws the ball downfield. It's Leroy. Can nearly get a hold of it right through the breadbasket as he goes barreling to the ground. 3rd and 25 now for the Spartans. A near beautiful connection, but Leroy unable to get his fingertips on it as he's forced to dive due to tight coverage from the Dinos.
That's exactly where that ball needed to be. Give your receiver a chance. He's the only one that can go get it. Leroy unable to get the over-the-shoulder catch on that play.
And it was good pass coverage coming from linebacker Ricky Sandoval of the Dinos. He had him locked up. If he was not there, that would have been an easy Leroy 1st down. Now the Spartans instead face 3rd and 20. So Thomas again in the shotgun, trips to his right, single man to his left. They're going to keep the trips look as he takes the snap and drops back. He eyes down the left side of the field, rolls to his right. He navigates the pocket, man coming behind him, dump pass, and they're going to pick up about 10. So they're going to get back to that initial line of scrimmage for 4th down as they go barreling forward. We'll see who came up with the catch on that play momentarily. Pulling it up, it was the likes of Hunter Leffler. So Hunter with a reception of about 10 yards on the play. He's been thriving in those bubble screen or in those little short screen situations. He's got 25 receiving yards as AJ adds 10 more to his total, bringing him into triple digits. Punt team comes out for the Spartans. It's going to be Thomas. He takes the snap and a little pooch punt goes flying through the air. Bounces out of bounds, and the Dinos will be taking over in their own territory, however, near midfield, as they have a chance to cut into this deficit. 22-7 sits the score with 3:52 remaining in the 1st half.
Both teams have now seen a drive that was killed by penalties. Carbon went backwards, Emery went backwards, so we'll take that as we'll call it even. Emery looking for another spot here.
So the Emery defense, which has come up time and time again, looking for another stop to flip the momentum in their favor. The Dinos looking to get something going as they try to avoid this one becoming a rout. So Dinos break the huddle. Single man to the right, trips to the left. It's going to be Rigby in the shotgun. Single man behind him, takes the snap. He drops, and he's looking downfield. Throws it down the middle into no man's land. Luckily, no Spartans there to make a play as it goes bouncing harmlessly to the ground. 2nd and 10 for the Dinos.
Felt the pressure, got rid of the ball into an open area of the field. No damage done. 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 for the Dinos. Much more friendly spot than we initially thought. They'll be in Spartan territory on the 45-yard line. Single man in the backfield behind Rigby. It's going to be Johnson. Trips to the left, single man to the right. Rigby, the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. Barrels forward, but unable to get anything as brought quickly down to the ground is that is Dawson Johnson, the sophomore.
Yeah, Elias Haskell on that tackle with a couple of helpers from his defensive line position. First man to touch him, though, loss of yards for Carbon.
They did a good job plugging up any possible hole on the line. Those running backs had nowhere to go as they set up with a 3rd and 11, a loss of 1 on the play for Carbon. This drive has gone nowhere. They're looking for a momentum swing and play here as they go trips to the right side, single man to the left, same formation as last time. It's going to be Rigby in the shotgun. Johnson behind him, sends Packard in motion. Now it's duos on either side. Rigby the snap, handoff goes to Packard. He breaks one tackle, breaks another, barrels forward, barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, though. They go for the trickery yet again, and it results in a gain of 1. 4th and 10 now for the Dinos. Emery's defense has been stingy, allowing nothing from Carbon.
Yeah, no gains on this drive from Carbon. That was Hayes Horton, the sophomore, coming up from a middle linebacker position to get the stop and stop the Carbon right where they were at.
Former world rodeo champion in Hayes, and he shows that he is unafraid of anything coming his way, whether it be animal or man, as Carbon breaks out the punt team again. Chili back to kick. Kick is up, big booming punt yet again. A Carbon bounce will do them wonders, caught by the Spartans, and they're going to dash forward, get to about the 13-yard line before being brought down. That was Leroy on the reception, so the Spartans take over on the 13-yard line. Last time they had more favorable position, but they ended up near that 13-yard line due to a plethora of penalties.
Yeah, Emery needs to have a sustained drive right here, Aiden. Keep the ball in the hands of your playmakers. I'm looking for a couple of runs up the middle. That's what we've seen some success.
And we've seen a lot of success from it for the Spartans through 11 attempts on the ground. They have 157 yards as a team, and you've seen them thrive in that situation as they break out of the huddle. Duos on either side. Thomas in the shotgun, Leffler to his right, as the eyes down the Dinos 4-2-5 defense. Thomas the snap, turns to his right, fakes the bubble screen, dump pass again. This time goes to Leffler, sniffed out immediately this time. Well, they've done too much. Like the old saying goes, too much candy and you're going to get a cavity. Too much middle screen and you're going to get brought down for little to no gain. 2nd and 9 for the Spartans.
Yeah, Carbon's D-line sniffed that one out. Didn't go for the pump fake and was right there to make a tackle. Gain of 1.
So clock continues to run. Minute 40 left here in the first half of action. Thomas directing traffic, 22-7 in favor of the Spartans. Duos to the left. Thomas in the backfield alongside Leffler. One man to the left and a tight end look for the Spartans. Man goes in motion, and a flag goes flying. Procedural penalty, more than likely against the Spartans on the jet motion.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be, well, they're pointing towards Carbon.
Well, it could be an Emery lucky break with a minute 25 left on the clock. So procedural penalty will go against the Dinos. Makes it a friendlier Emery 2nd down situation. That will move it to 2nd and 4.
This offense really likes to play ahead of the sticks, so that penalty on Carbon opens up our playbook a whole lot. 2nd down and 4, a lot of options for offensive coordinator Chris Justice.
And with the clock continuing to tick down and the lead you have, 22-7, you feel good about how this drive ends as long as you keep the ball till the end of the half. Thomas, the snap, rolls to his right. Dump pass, they're caught, and it's a gain of about 7. A good catch on the play coming by Kai Witzel, the junior, again coming up with a big catch for the Spartans. He's got 23 receiving yards on the day. AJ's total goes to 107.
Yeah, AJ finds his man, and Kai Witzel right there gets a first down. Kai takes a hit, holds on to the ball. That's the important part right there to make that play happen.
So clock sits at a minute and 9, 22-7 in favor of the Spartans here in the first half. We have the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show coming up right around the bend. Don't want to miss that. As Thomas goes up, he's got duos to either side. Leffler to his right, takes the snap, drop back, eyes downfield, good defensive line play. And Thomas breaks free out of a hole. He spins out of one tackle, goes at the head, and instead Thomas goes barreling forward. It's enough for the first down, a gain of 10, 37 rushing yards for the senior. As the chains go moving.
Great coverage by Carbon right there. He had nowhere to go, tucks the ball, and picks up 10 yards.
So a timeout called on the field with 52 seconds left. We'll take this one with them. We'll be back with more Emery High football right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in Historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
Emery Spartan football.
Hunter Leffler, number 3. Branson Mortensen, 76.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into Emery High football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. The Spartans up 22-7 over the Carbon Dinos with 52 seconds left in the first half of action as Thomas takes the snap, eyes to his right, throws the regular screen. Excuse me, I'm so used to saying jet screen, but it is wide over the head of Hunter Leffler and wisely not making the catch there, or else he would have been blown up for a loss.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play right there by AJ. He left his receiver out to dry right there.
Yeah, he really had no options going forward, but it stops the clock. Emery still in a manageable down and distance. 2nd and 10, 47 seconds left in half number 1. Emery up 22-7. Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show coming up as we enter into the break. You can also stream this game on Castle Country Radio, Emery on YouTube as Thomas takes the snap, slings it down the sideline. Fingertip catch by Drage, and he sprints forward. A big gain for the Spartans. That's going to push them about 15 yards on the catch, but we have a Dino down on the field. So that clock going to stop as they tend to the injured man down there. We'll take a quick break while they tend to him and be back with more Emery football right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
You see your friends with their new travel trailers, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. They're living the dream, right? Well, it doesn't just have to be a dream. You can start living that same dream life today by starting your new career with GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance. GMS is hiring mechanics, electricians, fabricators, experienced and inexperienced miners. They offer high starting wages, benefits, a 401k, and vacation pay. Local jobs are available. Apply today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. The dream can be yours with GMS Mine Repair.
At Hard Hat Furniture and Appliance, serving Castle Country has been our family's legacy for 3 generations. We started as a small shop, Hard Hat Appliance and Television, bringing neighbors the latest in appliances. As times changed, we grew to offer water beds and quality furniture, always focusing on friendly service. Today, we're proud to have the largest showroom in Castle Country. From our family to yours, thank you for letting us serve this community for 3 generations. Hard Hat Furniture and Appliance on Main Street in Price.
Emery High football, they're back out and on the field facing off against the Carbon Dinos. 22-7 with 39 seconds left. The ref gives the go-ahead. Thomas in the shotgun, trips to his left, one man to his right. Thomas takes the snap. He drops back, delivers a dime downfield. Could be a big play. Leroy in a jump ball situation. And we are going to see it called a catch. My goodness, Cray Leroy, a bomb downfield for about 20 yards on the play. So the totals continue to climb for the Spartans. 142 passing yards for AJ and 48 receiving yards and a touchdown for Cray Leroy. Timeout called. We'll stay here on this one. Thornley, Emery has the passing game going now and building off an already impressive run game. That makes them all the more dangerous.
Yeah, I agree, Aiden. We see AJ throw into double coverage right there. Leroy able to go up and climb the ladder and come down with the ball.
Yeah, whenever you can make a star-struck catch like that against 2 defenders, well, they're going to have to throw a third your way, and we saw that very strategy against Kanab. Cray had a stellar first half, but halftime adjustments from the Cowboys sent multiple men his way. He didn't get much of a chance to make any plays following that. So Cray showing why he is one of the premier wide receiving names in the 2A classification. So coming out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for the Spartans. They're set up on the 19-yard line. AJ in the shotgun. Leffler to his left, trips to his right, one man to his left. Takes the snap, handoff goes Leffler, a flea flicker. AJ rolls to his right, he's got to get rid of it, but it's caught by Leffler, who's leveled immediately out of bounds. That's a hard hit, Thornley. My goodness.
Yeah, big hit coming from Carbon.
Well, and a little trickery from the Spartans. They go for the reverse flea flicker. AJ just doesn't have anyone open downfield as the Spartans go jogging back. The injured man on his feet, that's Leffler. He got hit hard on that play, but he's back up and moving. Coaches coming to check on him, but the clock stops at 22.6 seconds left. 22-7 Emery advantage. So another injury timeout on the field. They're going to talk things over. So Thornley, a little trickery for the Spartans, unable to get it going.
Yeah, that was blown up by Carbon's defense. We just didn't have enough time. They didn't bite on the play. AJ didn't have enough time, had to dump it off to his running back, and gets leveled in the process.
No, it was a good job by the Dino defensive line staying stout. They break away from their blocks immediately for the level out of bounds. So, Dinos retake the field. The Spartans waiting to come out of the huddle. Backing up Leffler in the backfield. We're going to be seeing the likes of Brody Johnson stepping on to the field. Didn't see much of the sophomore in the season opener against Kanab, but being a second string varsity back in your sophomore season gives a lot of confidence as Thomas lines up with trips to his left, one man to his right. Takes the snap in the shotgun, rolls out to his left, bootleg action again for the Spartans, eyes downfield. Thinks about throwing, won't. Instead, he gets a breakaway. AJ has green grass, breaks 2-3 tackles. Does he get in? Waiting for the official signal. They're going to say he's just short, inches, if not centimeters, away from the promised land as a big breakaway run comes from Thomas. My goodness, he looked like he was swallowed up entirely. Instead, he goes barreling forward, nearly gets to the end zone. Instead, we'll chalk it up. They're going to call him 2 yards short. A 16-yard run from AJ off the busted passing play.
Once again, Aiden, our angle, we couldn't quite see exactly where he got down. Looked to be a little closer than that. Officials say he only got to the 2. AJ getting it done with his legs again.
He does that, and that's what makes him such a potent threat for this Spartan squad, is he is unafraid of the contact. He will drop his shoulder, and he will go forward. And, you know, as a quarterback's coach, probably a little trepidation in seeing your guy so willing to do that. But for the Spartans, it's what's been working time and time again.
Yeah, you're right. You don't ever want to see your quarterback taking a big hit. AJ, he's given the hits in this game.
Now, he is a very durable athlete, and that's what makes him stand out at quarterback. Normally, you picture more fragile athletics there, but not AJ as he lines up under center. A goose and go. Didn't work last time for the Spartans. Stuffed short on a 4th down. Now trying to get into the promised land with 11 seconds left. AJ instead fakes the handoff. He has running room along the right side. He's going to break through the threshold for a Spartan touchdown. AJ Thomas, the fake quarterback sneak, rolls to his right. And across the threshold, Emery now up 28-7 with 3 seconds remaining in the first half of action. AJ, what a scamper. We thought he got it done the first time. He leaves, no doubt about it. The second go around, one man to beat, and he beats him thoroughly. So the Spartans set up for the point after.
You know, I don't even know how you defend that play, AJ. Or, AJ around the outside. You have to stack the box so he doesn't just push it in the middle, and then he just takes it and goes around the end.
Second rushing touchdown of the day for AJ. He's got 55 yards on the ground in addition to his 142 through the air. So it's going to be Ward lining up for the kick for the Spartans, a chance to make it 29-7. Kick is down, offsides. It's going to be whistled against the Dinos. They had Andy Kiefer shoot the edge very well, but a little before the snap. So we're going to move Emery closer yet again. And last time we saw him do it, they went for 2, and showing that they have a plethora of goal line maneuvers to turn to, I wouldn't be surprised to see offensive coordinator Chris Justice dial something up here.
You're right, Aiden. You know, you get another half yard or so to closer to the end zone. Maybe we say that same play again.
That's all you can hope, and looks like they're calling AJ off from the sideline. They got the confidence to go for two. It was Stilson in to hold the kick the last go-around as Thomas was taped up. They're going to send AJ back on out there to either hold or to go for the fake. So the Spartans, with 15 on the play clock, have to hurry. I'm so used to calling that a shot clock. That same concept, but 10 seconds left as they break out of the huddle. They got to get something going, or else that yard gain from the penalty will be got right back. Thomas in the shotgun. Can't get the snap off in time. Flag goes flying. They're going to be going back 5 yards. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back, quite literally, for the Spartans.
Yeah, not what we want to see. A little confusion. That's a confusing play. Your offense, it's almost halftime. They're ready to go in and talk about it. Not enough time to get that 2-point conversion down.
Yeah, so they're going to be moving back, and they're more than likely going to be turning back to the leg of Ward, given the increased distance on the kick. So they're going to be taking the shot from 7 yards out, 28-7 with 3.9 seconds left. We got enough time for a kickoff, it feels like, if not one more play. So Corbin Ward for the Spartans lines it up, gets the go-ahead, laces up, kick flies through the uprights, and another Spartan score on the point after. 29-7 climbs our scoreboard here at Emery High as the Spartans have thoroughly dominated the rivalry matchup so far. 29-7 advantage for Emery.
I think that Carbon's kind of been shooting themselves in the foot. We've seen a lot of penalties that have just stopped those drives. They haven't been playing bad football. Emery's just been playing better.
And Coach Nick Milovich of the Dinos talked about it with me earlier today. That was one of their biggest problems against ALA. Opportune moments that go awry due to mismanagement. Poorly timed penalties, poorly timed turnovers or near turnovers that take the momentum. They knock the breath out of you, and they're so hard to try and recover from. So the return men for the Dinos, it's going to be Packard as well as Donaldson yet again. Kicking off for Emery will be Ward. Ward just needs to put it down somewhere near the 20 to 10 yard range, and then they'll be able to run the clock out with only 3.9 seconds left in the first half of action. Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show coming up right around the bend. Do not want to miss that. So it's going to be Ward with the kick, a little squib kick, and they dive on the ground. They can't get it. Spartans dive on the floor, final for it. Clock runs out, but chaos ensues on the field as the Spartans go for the onside kick. They recover the ball, it appears. So if there was time left, if they could have got their mitts on it just seconds sooner, well, they would have had one more Hail Mary shot to put themselves up in an even more advantageous position. However, it's unnecessary, it feels, as Emery sits up 29-7 over the Carbon Dinos entering the halftime break. A thrilling first half of action. Big runs coming from both sides, but so far it has been the Spartans who have been showing their mark on the scoreboard. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist, and here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
The time is now to join the JN Auto Experience. Browse quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs at our Price or Huntington lots. JN Auto can even help you get financing. Get fast, expert mechanic service to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Treat your car to a spotless wash or make it shine with professional detailing. Even rent a car. All in one convenient stop. JN Auto. Driven forward.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
The more things change,
the more they stay the same.
Yes, Mr. Automotive has a new building in Huntington.
But that just means the services they offer just got better.
Detailing and mechanic work are being added to the already great service Mr. Automotive had already offered.
And all deals are still done with the owner at the lowest prices possible.
New building, same best prices, and more auto services. Go to MrAutomotiveSales.com or stop by the dealership, 21 South Main, Huntington. Mr. Automotive, the best for less.
You've been accused of doing something illegal. Now it's time for a strong defense in the game of legal matters. Let Oliver Law tackle your case. Robert Oliver believes in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law brings you a strong defense for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. And when it's time to go on offense, Robert Oliver has the game plan to tackle your legal troubles. Call 435-637-6060 or go to robertoliverlegal.com to request a free consultation. Robert Oliver, passionate about defending the underdog.
Our home flooded when the refrigerator line broke. We felt helpless, didn't know what to do. Our neighbors told us to call On Call Restore. They really came through for us.
Serving all of southeastern Utah, they're fast and professional. 24/7 emergency services for water, fire, and mold. They even do emergency board-ups. And as a licensed insured general contractor, they do the remodeling as well. Call for a free quote, 650-1092.
Bringing you peace of mind during the worst of times. Call On Call, 650-1092.
We'll be on our way.
Hi, I'm Roy Nickus with Price Insurance. Since 1958, we've been protecting what matters most to you. As an independent agency, we shop top-rated carriers like Progressive, Nationwide, Liberty Mutual, and Dairyland to find your best rates. We can cover you for your home, auto, RV, as well as your life, health, and business insurance. We're here for every stage of your life. Come see us. We're right next to Cache Valley Bank, or call us today at Price Insurance, your local choice.
In the heart of Carbon and Emery counties, Quick Realty is here to help you make the right move. Experience the future of home buying with our Matterport 3D tours, giving you an immersive look at your potential home from anywhere. Meet our dedicated team of local professionals, just real people who care, walking you through every step of the way. As a Zillow Premier and Realtor.com specialist, Quick Realty is your trusted expert, handling everything from residential, commercial, and mountain properties to property management. Your dream home is just a call away. Let Quick Realty help you find it.
Transform your space with Spectrum Paint featuring PPG paint, the ideal choice for any home project. Imagine a kaleidoscope of colors at your fingertips, from soothing pastels to vibrant primaries. Whether revamping a room or adding character to your exteriors, Spectrum Paint makes every brush stroke count. Dive into a spectrum where quality meets creativity and paint your world with us. Visit Spectrum Paint to find the perfect shade for your home today.
Discover the best in local flavor at Stewart's Market in Castledale and Main Street Market in Farron. Enjoy the largest fresh produce section around. Ripe, vibrant, and hand-selected just for you. The personal butcher ensures every cut is just right, and the deli delights with ready-to-eat favorites. Shop fresh, shop local, and taste the difference community makes. Only at Stewart's Market and Main Street Market. Come home to quality and hometown service today.
Plumbing issues don't happen every day, but when they do, it's good to know that there's a plumber you can trust right here in the Castle Country. The Swell Plumber has over 30 years of experience and has proven that he's reliable. Here's what some customers have said about the Swell Plumber.
Kurt was amazing. He came out to the house the same day and got quotes to us very quickly.
Kurt kept in touch with us with updates as things progressed. I was definitely pleased.
For residential and commercial plumbing, go to theswellplumber.com and book your appointment today.
What the Utah Miners Hospital offers is relatively unique in the country to help take care of people who have really dedicated their careers, their lives to hard work.
I have torn rotator cuffs in my shoulders. Honestly, I don't remember everything I've had done. I think I've had to wait 10 minutes one time. It's amazing that there's a fund out there. You have no medical bills.
If you're ready and you need us, please give us a call. We're happy to help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
AJ Thomas and Miles Mortensen welcome you back into the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, as well as being broadcast live with a video feed on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Emery. Hi, everybody. Aiden Mortensen, Justin Thornley alongside you in the Sutherland's broadcast booth today as the Spartans go into halftime of today's rivalry showdown up 29-7 over the Dinos. We figured it was going to be a close matchup, but the Spartans have fixed a lot of errors we saw from them last week, especially when it comes to the run game.
Emery looking really good on the ground. That's what we said needed to happen, is get that run game going, and it opens up shots downfield.
3 touchdowns coming on the ground for Emery. 2 coming by way of quarterback A.J. Thomas. He's got 55 rush yards on the day and 2 of those touchdowns. And, of course, Hunter Leffler, the story of the game for the Spartans. Through 6 rushing attempts, he has 130 yards on the ground, including a big breakaway 96-yard touchdown for the Spartans. Flipped this game on the head when he broke that off.
You said it best, Aiden. That's what we needed to see in this game, was Leffler getting his running game going, getting some confidence, and doing what he does best.
And he has done that in spades today. Now, as we always wish, we were the only football action happening around the state, but lots of action to dive into. Thornley, let's take a look at some scores that are happening around the state.
Yeah, looking around the state, in 2A action, we have a couple of interesting games. So San Juan taking on Beaver. Emery's next opponent in Beaver. San Juan up right now in that game, 31-14. If we look down at the Miller-Delta game, Delta up on their county rival, 14-0.
And that's always going to be a scrappy one. The Rabbits shaping up to be very good this year after only mustering 2 wins last season. They're shaping up to put together something special.
Yeah, I agree. Delta's always been good. They've had a couple of rebuilding years here and there, but they've got some tough kids out there in Delta, and they're showing it on the field, for this season, early in the season.
Now, you mentioned Beaver, going to be the next matchup of the Spartans. However, they also have to look ahead to San Juan later in the year. The Broncos, always a tough test as they hunt for, I believe, their 6th consecutive state title.
Yeah, San Juan, they have a culture down there, and they believe they're going to win, and they go out and make it happen.
So a lot happening around the state. We got a few more scores happening, especially in the 3A ranks. One that I thought was interesting was Richfield and Grantsville.
Yeah, Richfield, Grantsville right now on the scoreboard looks to be at about halftime. Richfield up 24-7.
And Grantsville was a team who took it to San Juan a week ago, and we thought they were going to be the world beaters of 3A. But after a bit of a down year, if you can consider a quarterfinal run a down year for the Wildcats, they look to be in title form. So lots of action happening around the state. We'll keep you up to date with those scores as they come. Well, let's talk about the history of this rivalry game for a bit. Sitting right next to me is the coal bucket painted in half, one half yellow, one half blue. It's the trophy for this rivalry game, adding that extra oomph to this rivalry. And as you look through the hallowed painted years across this bucket, Thornley, the last time the Dinos able to come up with a victory in this rivalry showdown back in 2018. That was a 16-9 win for the Dinos on their home turf. And they played a stellar game. Their defense was lights out. They kicked field goals extremely well. And because of that, they were able to come away with the Spartans and snap their drought with the bucket. However, a new drought is forming.
Yeah, I was at that game last time they won. It was an exciting game. It was fun on both sides. Carbon really excited to get the coal bucket back. Since then, Emery's taken care of it.
Yes, lots of yellow on this bucket. This rivalry game not played in 2025, so the last year we see on it is 2024. However, it's so nice to have this rivalry back as you look out amongst the stands, and this game is packed, especially in that parking lot. My goodness, I'm glad I got here early. It is filled to the brim, and you can hear the stadium from a mile away. That's how enthused residents of the Castle Country are for this yearly showdown.
This is a great stadium. There's a lot of seating on the Emery side, a big visitor section, and we're seeing a lot of people. The stands are pretty packed. You might find a seat here or there, but there's a lot of people to witness this game tonight.
It's going to be a good day for your concession stand. I know that for sure. But let's look back at the game as we enter into the waning moments of halftime. It's 29-7 in favor of the Spartans. They've got some big runs, and they've had some big plays through the air. If you were the Carbon coaching staff, what are you telling these kids in the locker room to try and get them fired up for the second half of action to try and mount a comeback?
I think that's what you said it best. They've got to settle them down. They're playing a little bit emotional still. They've got to settle down, do their job, play their position, and limit those big runs from Emery. They've got to close up the center of the field.
They really do, and that's where a lot of damage has been done. Carbon, to their credit, has seen some good runs up the middle. I mean, you look at what Dawson Johnson has been able to accomplish for the Dinos. He's been a consistent workhorse back. However, the two marquee names we said in the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show in Dexter Packard and Taker Timothy have been held quiet. We've only seen Timothy touch the ball once. Packard has seen some success, but they've usually been utilizing him in reverses, and they've been sniffed at immediately by the Spartans.
Yeah, it's interesting that we haven't seen Timothy with the ball in his hands very much. He's a good runner. That's probably what I would be telling him is we're getting the hands in our playmaker and go make the plays.
Yeah, get the ball to Tager and let him cook because he is a Swiss Army knife. He can run, he can catch, he can kick. He is a do-it-all kind of guy, so I'm a little surprised that the Spartans have been able to shut him down as effectively as they have. If you're Emery, you have the big lead, 29-7 at the half. What are you telling them if you're Coach Famalo to keep these guys locked in and not let this lead slip away from them?
I would be telling them we've got to keep moving forward. We have to move the ball still. We haven't won the game yet. We need to keep moving the ball.
So we'll take a look at some stats from the first half. Again, A.J. Thomas with 55 rush yards and 2 touchdowns. Through the air, an equally impressive stat line. 10 completed passes for 142 yards and a touchdown as well. For Leffler, he has been able to go for 6 rush attempts and 130 yards. Our favorite receiver tonight has been Cray Leroy. Leads the team with 48 receiving yards and a touchdown to his name.
Thomas has looked good. He's made good decisions. We've taken care of the ball. No turnovers in this game.
And that's been pretty key for Emery. A few close calls on fumbles. Got a little loosey-goosey trying to break tackles. However, the Spartans have been able to dive right back on it. Offensive line play has been stellar. And remember, the Spartans get the ball to kick off, to receive in the second half. So they score to end the second, now into the third. A chance to add more to that total as we are ready for second half of action. You've been listening to the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show. Again, KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, as well as on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Emery. Lots of ways to watch the Spartans both live and on demand. We got last week's recap as well as recaps from the last 2 seasons available. So if you got a hankering for some Spartan football, you're never going to be in doubt. As Chili gets the go-ahead whistle and the Dinos kick this one off, ball soars up and in through the air, caught in the near the end zone by Kai Witzel. They barrel forward. They get to about the 25-yard line. That's going to be the starting position for your Spartans as they take the field for offense. Got to give a big shout out to the offensive line group. A little shuffling here and there from the Spartans, but a young group led by one senior has been stellar in protecting AJ and opening up big gaps for the run game.
You said it, Aiden. They've been really good up front. They had to win the battle in the trenches. They've done a good job so far in this game.
So the Spartans go into the huddle. Thomas back on to the field. One man already out of the huddle. He knows the play. That's going to be Drayden Oman, the sophomore. Excuse me, that's going to be Cray Leroy. There's 2 1s, not 1-1. So it's going to be Leffler breaking the huddle. He's got one man to his right. Duos to either side of him as they are ready for second half football. Leroy goes in motion. They're going left to right on your radio dial. Thomas, the fake, throws the dump screen yet again, and it's going to go into the arms of Leffler, a play that worked extremely well in the first half. Still shows it has some legs underneath it. A gain of 4 on the play for the Spartans.
Gain a couple of yards. We have our second down and shorter distance. That's what Emery likes to play behind. Get those first couple of yards on first down.
And we saw it throughout the Kanab contest. When the Spartans can get positive first gains, they tend to get rolling down the field. So trips now to the left, one man to the right. Thomas gives the clap and the snap. Handoff goes up the middle to Leffler, who barrels forward yet again. He has a breakaway, tiptoes the sideline, one man to beat. He goes forward, and he's shoved out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Flips the field. Does Hunter Leffler. What a scamper from the senior.
Big block by Miles Mortensen on the outside. He pulls around, seals that edge, and gives Hunter the chance to get going.
A good 50-yard sprint coming for Leffler on that play. Brings his total to 180 in the contest. Flips the field for the Spartans as they break the huddle. 1st and 10 from the Dinos' 30-yard line.
Momentum in Emery's favor right now. We like to see that.
Jumbo formation for the Spartans. 2 to the left. 2 in the backfield. Offensive coordinator Chris Justice signaling the play from the sidelines. Play clock ticks down. It's going to be a violation. Delay of game. Nope, they called the timeout first. Spartans unable to get it. Confusion has been the main cause of these penalties, or in this case, near penalty for Emery. This time able to call the timeout before death comes knocking on their door with a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, we don't want to go backwards in this game. This part of the field, we want to move forward. So probably a good call. I never like to take a timeout, less than a minute into the first half or the second half.
It limits your abilities later in the game, and if the Dinos are to start mounting a comeback, that could be a costly timeout to utilize this early on. However, when you're in the position you want to take all precautions possible as the Spartans retake the field. And the Dinos come charging out as well. Emery lining up with two men to the left, one man to the right, a tight end lining up for Emery. That's going to be Kai Witzel playing just off the offensive line. They switch formations now. Instead, it's going to be Nelson in that near tight end slot. Witzel to the left. Handoff goes up the middle. It's Leffler again. Barrels forward, trusts his blocker, and they continue to move forward. A gain of 4 on the play for Hunter. Continues to move the chains. He was held to about 20 rushing yards last game against Kanab. This contest, Thornley, 184.
Making the difference in the game right there. The O-line opening up big gaps for him. He's 5 yards down the field before anyone touches him.
And it's always so fun when you can get that run game going. It keeps that clock moving as well, limiting the offensive opportunities for the Dinos. Huddle breaks, trips to the right, one man to the left for Thomas in the shotgun. Leffler to his right as well. He takes the snap, he drops back, fakes the bubble screen, instead lofts downfield. We have a catch, running in, nothing but green grass for Kai Witzel as he dances his way into the end zone. 25-yard strike for the Spartans. The passing game strikes again.
Big play by Kai Witzel. Makes that reception. We do have a flag on the field. Touchdown's good after the play.
Going against the Dinos, so that will, if nothing else, help the Spartans a little bit more. Witzel's 3rd reception of the game. He's up to 48 yards and a touchdown. Ties the total so far of Leroy. So we saw the run game dominate in the opening stanzas, and now the passing attack opens up for Emery, working in conjunction like bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly. The Spartans rolling on all cylinders.
Yeah, AJ had lots of time right there, waits for Kai to get open, delivers a dime.
Now it's going to be Ward lining up for the kick yet again. 35-7 now the score. Extra point. Kick is up, and this time gets a little more loft underneath it. Corbin continues to develop in that kicking game.
Yeah, he missed that one wide left, they're saying. A little more air underneath it, but kind of shanked it to the left, I think, Aiden.
So a little more power, but a little less accuracy coming for Corbin Ward. However, the earlier 2-point conversion this contest makes it so the Spartans not facing any sort of point deference I don't think that's a word. Difference as the score sits 35-7 with 10:02 left to play here in the third quarter. The Spartans continue rolling. One more unanswered touchdown, Thornley, and we find ourselves in the running clock mercy rule. And you and I talked about it. New to the UHSAA this year, a 44-point mercy rule after the third quarter. And they just continue to roll on. So the Spartans knocking on heaven's door here. 35 points coming up with the next score. They'll have to score twice more if they want to put 44 on the Dinos and end this contest early. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. Rivalry games, you rarely want to see things turn around like that.
Yeah, rivalry game here. You'd love to see Emery. If you're an Emery fan, you want to get to that 44-point deficit there and shut the game down. But Carbon looking back to respond here. They need a response right here, Aiden.
And so the kick moves up greatly due to the penalty after the touchdown. So the Spartans are going to be kicking off from the Dinos' 45-yard line. So not much that they're going to have to loft this one up for Corbin Ward if he wants to put this into the end zone. Official blows the whistle, and we are all set as dice go flying around the Emery student section. Ball fielded by Packard at the 2-yard line. He barrels forward, nearly breaks away. He had the momentum behind him, and it nearly carried him through a pile-up, but brought down eventually, falls at the 30-yard line. So the Dinos face 70 yards to get some points on the board.
Good return from the Carbon Dinos right there. They get good field position even after that penalty.
And it was a good job by Packard. He's someone we want to see get a little more involved offensively for the Dinos. Again, led up the team in rushing yards, 68 last game against ALA. Now he's trying to put the team on his back and try and cut into this great deficit. So we get the go-ahead from the official. And it's Rigby in the shotgun. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Handoff swallowed up. No, breaks away, and he continues, and that is the man we were just talking about, Thornley. That is Dexter Packard plowing forward for a 6-yard gain for the Dinos, weaving, winding, and he bobs his way to a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 for the Dinos.
Good hard-nosed running. He breaks a couple of tackles right there. Emery needing to wrap up on that, make sure that we get him down at the initial point of contact.
Yeah, the little more yards after contact than you'd like to see as Carbon breaks the huddle. It's Rigby in the shotgun again, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 2 in the backfield. Surveys the defense, gives the go-ahead. Handoff goes up the middle. This time it's going to be Johnson. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to say gain of 1. Very manageable 3rd and 3 for the Carbon Dinos.
Carbon putting the ball on the field. We've had some bad pass plays, but they're getting it done on the running game right now, looking for a 3rd down conversion here, get the momentum back on their side of the ball.
And that would be wonderful for them if they can get this 1st down and continue this drive. They've stalled out so frequently in situations like this where they can feel the 1st down in front of them, but nothing good comes as Rigby looks at his left, 2 men there. Handoff goes up the middle again. This time it's going to be Johnson. Johnson breaks 1, but he's pulled down by the back of his jersey. A gain of about 10, and it's enough for a Dinos 1st down.
Yeah, good run right there. Trying to get looks like Leffler on the tackle, maybe?
And Leffler, despite initial injury concerns at the end of the first half, he took a walloping along the sideline. He has bounced back, and he has looked like his same old self, a benefit for the Spartans offensively and defensively. Carbon enters back onto the field. The play is set. Twins to the right, 1 man to the left, 2 in the backfield alongside Rigby, who's in the shotgun. Takes the snap again. Handoff goes up the middle. Johnson swallowed up. Nowhere to go. A pile of humanity as a black hole of Emery swallows him up. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Colton North comes from that middle linebacker position, sniffs that one out, makes the tackle that time. That was the important part. Didn't let him run through it.
And North was one of the leaders in tackles in the season opener against Kanab, and he's showing that instinct even more so this game, and that's a promising sign for the young sophomore.
Yeah, I'd like to see him getting more involved. You said it best. He was our number 1 tackler, had the most tackles in the last game.
Same formation for the Dinos as Rigby in the shotgun takes the snap. If they're going for the reverse, this time they find Timothy, the man who we hadn't seen so far, gets the edge. He bursts forward with a strength of speed, and he's going to get enough. They're going to stop him short, actually, say he stepped out. They're going to call it an 8-yard gain instead of the 1st down it was looking to be earlier.
Another devastating penalty coming up right here, Aiden. Official throws a flag. Looks like a hold on their wide receiver here.
And that's something that both Emery and Carbon share, and is the youth movement fully taking over their wide receiver core. Lots of juniors, lots of sophomores for the Dinos getting starting reps at the varsity level in that room. And one of the things Coach Milovich talked to me about is we need to learn to block on the outside. And the only thing that separates a good block from a hold is that yellow piece of fabric, and that time a little too blatant for the official.
Yeah, I watched that play. I don't know if that was quite the holding penalty. Emery defender maybe sold it a little bit.
Yeah, no, and it doubles as a soccer field, and we see that all the time in that sport. So it makes sense as the Dinos break the huddle. Twins to the right, one man to the left, one in the backfield for Rigby. He takes the snap. They go for the reverse, actually. Packard nearly gets swallowed up. He's got to beat 2 linemen, and our linemen have wheels. They eat him up for a loss of 2. So it was a busted reverse at first, but they do get the handoff to Packard. He tries to run along the right edge. He gets hit hard and unable to move that ball forward. Now it's 3rd and 18 for the Dinos. 3rd and 20, actually, with a loss of 2.
Chaz Sorensen on the tackle in the backfield for loss of yards.
And a whistle blows. 3rd and 20, but the clock continues to run. And a timeout whistled on the field. The Dinos going to want to talk this one over as he got it with the down and distance sitting 3rd and 20. We'll take this timeout with him, but we'll be right back with more Emery Spartan football right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Your degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Utah Valley University, our open admissions and low tuition make getting started easy. Choose from online, in-person, or hybrid classes so you can keep your schedule and get real-world, hands-on experience. That means you won't just graduate with a degree, you'll graduate ready for what's next. Learn more for less. Apply today at uvu.edu.
Emery Spartan football.
Hunter Leffler, number 3. Branson Mortensen, 76.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
The man of the hour, Hunter Leffler, welcomes us back into the game between the Spartans and the Dinos here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. It's Carbon possession, but they face a 3rd and 20 as both teams continue to mull things over. Little confusion on the field. Clock sits at 6:23 left in the 3rd quarter. 35-7 advantage for Emery. In addition to listening to this game, you can also go back and watch it live or on demand on our YouTube page, Castle Country Radio Emery. Not only are you going to find tonight's contest and the season opener against Kanab, but we have the archives dating back to 2024 for Emery. So if you want to watch them, well, that's your go-to spot as Rigby breaks the huddle. One in the backfield, throws a pass up the middle, immediate catch. They're able to pick up 9 on the play. Baylor Sanders, the receiver on that, as Rigby slings it up the middle, sidearm style, and it brings up a 4th and 12 on the field. We got an injured Spartan down, laying on the 42-yard line. Coaching staff rolls out, so going to be another inopportune timeout. So the Dinos going to have a chance to talk things over. You're at a point in the game where it is decision time. We're down big. Do we start going for it in these situations? I mean, you pick up 10 on the last pass up the middle. Do you want to start putting points on the board as quickly as possible? You need to find something to do, but is this the time and place to go for something like that?
Yeah, that's the question I'm sure they're mulling over right now. As a Dino fan, you maybe want to risk it right here. You got to keep this drive going. A penalty set you back again. I don't know. What do you do, Aiden? You're the coach. You go for it on 4th down here?
I'm a Madden-pilled kind of guy, and I would go for this 10 out of 10 times, mainly because Madden doesn't have any real-life consequences. There's no stakes in that game, so I would go for it. But for the Dinos, you are playing to try and put points on the board, and you're running out of time, a mere 18 minutes to try and make something happen. You need a score to avoid a mercy rule next touchdown from the Spartans. You need to get something happening, but it looks like they will break out the punt team as Chili back there. He's ready to kick. Leroy alongside Stilson, the men for Emery to receive. Kick is up. goes soaring through the air. Leroy with the reception. He's going to call fair catch, and that's going to set Emery up at the 15-yard line as a wall of white jerseys made its way toward him. If he would have tried to run, he could have probably made one move, but after that, he was going to be swallowed by the Dinos.
Yeah, I think that's the right call by the Dinos. You said you'd go for it. I think I kick it away.
Yeah, no, that's because you're thinking reasonably. You're thinking reasonable football. But the Spartans will take over at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for Emery. 6 minutes, 3 seconds left in the third quarter. 35-7 advantage. One Emery touchdown away from a running clock the rest of the way. So we're going to see if we can get the magic from Leffler, and Thomas will continue, and the excellent blocking up front from the Emery O-line. Thomas lines up in the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 1 in the backfield as well. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, he drops back, another screen up the middle for the Spartans. They're going to get the first down and then some breakaway. They continue to weave, wind, dip, and dive, and move the ball forward.
We've seen that play a couple of times out of the backfield, getting some good success. We've seen it a lot on first down.
But a flag on the field near about 5 yards from that play. That's a hold. It's going to send Emery back to the drawing board. So luckily it doesn't happen near the line of scrimmage. Going to set him up with about a 1st and 15. So a great Emery play negated.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The hold's a little bit away from the play. Backs him up. Not what you want to see for Emery.
Yeah, so now instead of a first down, they face a 1st and 13. So the play occurring a little more downfield as the Spartans break the huddle, trips to the right for Emery. That means they're going to have one man to the left. As it looks like a timeout called on the field. So they're going to have time to talk things over. With 5:52 remaining here in the third quarter, we'll take this timeout with them and be back with more Emery football.
In the heart of Carbon and Emery counties, Quick Realty is here to help you make the right move. Experience the future of home buying with our Matterport 3D tours, giving you an immersive look at your potential home from anywhere. Meet our dedicated team of local professionals, just real people who care, walking you through every step of the way. As a Zillow Premier and Realtor.com specialist, Quick Realty is your trusted expert, handling everything from residential, commercial, and mountain properties to property management. Your dream home is just a call away. Let Quick Realty help you find it.
So a quicker timeout for the Spartans as Thomas has trips to his right and he tries to rush forward, but he is brought down. The first time we've seen this Dinos defense able to come up with a stop in the backfield against AJ. Jace Shumway, the sophomore for the Dinos, coming up with the play.
AJ checked down a couple of receivers, nowhere to go, tries to run, gets swallowed up by that Carbon Dino defense.
And they did a good job buying their time, holding their position, and not collapsing until it was absolutely necessary. So 2nd and 10 for the Spartans. Trips to the right of Thomas. One man to his left. Leffler in the backfield as well. Handoff goes up the middle. And Hunter barrels forward. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play for Leffler. He continues his excellent rushing day. Last 2 runs have been held to only 4 yards ago. However, he does bring his total on the day to 188 as the Spartans face a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, looking to get the first down here. We don't want to punt the ball from this part of the field. We got to get a first down right here, Aiden.
Yeah, you got to continue driving forward, or else the Dinos are going to have excellent field position to start their next possession. So trips to the right again, one man to the left. Identical formation for Thomas in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That's Nielsen. Now duos on either side, takes the snap. Little jumpy, but unable to do it. As good blocking from the line opens up AJ. He's got green grass. He's got the first down and then some. Splits one defender. Continues rolling on. And he's not brought down till the 46-yard line. So a gain of 27 on the play for AJ on the ground. He continues to impress with his rushing attack.
I thought they were going to get him in the backfield on that play, Aiden. The D-line got in there, flushed him out of the pocket, but AJ had a lot of field in front of him.
It was a good block last second coming from Elias Haskell. He goes in and he shoves the defensive end right out of the way last second, and now they open up AJ for a big sprinting run. So into the backfield, Thomas goes. Duo stay other side, one man to his right. It's Leffler. Fakes the bubble screen. Throws this time right to the ref. Looks like he was eyeing the jet screen on the right side, recognizes that there's a defender right there for the Dinos in Shumway. Wisely puts it where no one can touch that.
Yeah, I think a little confusion on the routes right there. But like you said, AJ got rid of the ball. No damage done. Second down.
So now it's 2nd and 10 for the Spartans. 4:03 left in the third quarter. 35-7 advantage for Emery. Officials spotting the ball to secure that 2nd and 10 as Emery breaks out of the huddle. A bit of a jumbo formation. They got two out wide as in motion goes Leroy. Handoff to the outside goes to Cray. He cuts up immediately, and he able to come up with a gain of 5 on the play. So Cray Leroy on the jet sweep takes the handoff in motion for a pickup of 5. Makes it a much more manageable situation for the Spartans heading into 3rd down.
That's what Emery needs to do. Get positive yards, make it a manageable 3rd down.
And that's exactly what they did on that play. So the Spartans, with the clock ticking down, 3:30 in the third quarter, 35-7 advantage. Duos to the right, one man to the left, a tight end look for Emery as they have one man in the backfield next to Thomas on his left. Handoff goes up the middle. That's to Leffler. DN goes flying up above him, and a good double leg shot coming from the Dinos, making contact. Daxton Maurer, the senior, with a form tackle to stop Emery short of the first.
Yeah, it's a great tackle in the open field. No doubt about that one. He was going down where he stopped.
And that's exactly the kind of play coaches love to see. So a 4th and 1 and decision time for the Spartans. AJ in the shotgun right now with the jumbo formation, more than likely looking to boot this one away. Actually takes the handoff under center, shifts it, and the handoff goes up the middle, and a gain of 4 for the Spartans.
Yeah,
so
different.
Leffler.
Sorry, Hayden.
Forward. No, you're all good.
Yeah, different set look right there from Emery. Carbon maybe looking for the goose and go. Hand it off to Hunter. He picks up the yards and gets the first down.
And the last time we saw him go under center, it was a beautiful end around coming from AJ for a score. This time up the middle they go to Hunter Leffler. AJ in the shotgun now, trips to his left, one man to his right, gives the clap. The snap comes his way. He rolls to his left, bootleg action. Eyes downfield, slings it, sidearm, and he's hit in the air. Did he get a foot down? They're going to say that yes.
Spotting the ball.
Was able to come up with the catch. Another spectacular grab coming courtesy of Kai Witzel. This time for 7 yards. He has been a connoisseur of those toe-tapping grabs along the sideline as contact immediately blows him out.
Yeah, good defense from Carbon. Kai just goes up there and gets a foot down.
So now the Spartans line up in a familiar formation, duos to the left and the right. Leffler to the right of Thomas in the backfield. The shotgun formation for the Spartans. He sends Leffler out on a route to the right. Empty now for Thomas. Steps up into the pocket. He throws deep downfield. Leffler unable to make the grab. Good defensive coverage coming from the Dinos. Excellent run along by Oscar Olivas, the senior.
Yeah, it's a good play, good defense from Carbon right there. The ball was where it needed to be. Hunter just not able to run underneath it and make that reception.
And it looks like a holding call on Emery as well, so they move that ball backwards. Not as devastating as if it occurred on a 1st and 10. However, does move you quite a significant bit away from that first down marker. Goes to about a 2nd and 15. So the Spartans now have a lot more ground to make up following the penalty. As the ball is spotted, it's going to be on the Dinos' 46-yard line. The Spartans continue to march forward as Thomas into the shotgun. 2 men to either side. Hunter in the backfield to his right. Takes the snap. He drops back for the pass. Pressure coming from the left side. Throws the ball deep. Caught easily. No man near him. Cray Leroy, the magic man, comes up with it yet again. A throw to the 30-yard line. Enough for a first down for the Spartans.
O-line from Emery doing its job right there, giving AJ enough time to find the receiver, make a good throw, and Cray comes down with it for a first down.
And just excellent play development from the Spartans. They stick with it until the very end. Love to see that from the Spartans as Leroy comes up with a 16-yard grab. He's got 64 receiving yards on the day, again leading the team after Witzel took that crown from him just a play before. So Emery breaks out of the huddle. Trips to the left, single man to the right. Leffler to his right in the backfield as well. Sends a man in motion. Now it's going to be duos on either side. Officials blow their whistle. Looks like play clock hits 0. We'll see what the decision is following the deliberation from the officials.
Yeah. Doesn't look like the play clock got reset.
That would make sense as well. All in all, I think this has been a very well officiated game. I don't have any complaints for this crew. And, for the second game of the year, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, very impressed. They've made the right calls, I think.
And Thomas, again, 2 men to either side of him, 1 man in the backfield. Throws the option to Leffler. Thomas buried in the backfield, but Leffler able to break away for a 13-yard run, and a flag goes flying.
There's that option play again we were talking about. We saw it in the pregame. It worked. Looks like it's going to come back.
And that flag came flying extremely late. So a good play negated by penalty yet again for the Spartans.
Yeah, not what you want to see. Penalties or drive killers. Although we just pick up a 15-yard first down on the previous play. So Emery looking to gain some yards on first down here.
So it's going to be first and 20 for the Spartans following the flag on the field. Emery has been able to come up with these deficits before with 1 or 2 big plays, but one thing I've liked about this offensive set is the time wasting they've been able to do on the clock through how potent they've been with running the ball. Trips to the right, 1 man in motion, it's Nelson. So the Spartans take the snap. Thomas drops back and he rolls to his right on some bootleg action. He's got pressure coming immediately. Throw, who else but Cray Leroy spins out of 1 tackle, breaks another. He barrels forward. And a gain of about 15 coming on the play for the Spartans. So a big chunk immediately comes back to Emery. Over 200 yards passing now for Thomas as Cray Leroy, again, open in space. No one seems to track him when he starts getting to the tail end of those runs.
Yeah, he's doing a great job finding the open space on the field, making that reception, gaining yards for Emery.
So the Spartans now break the huddle, a much more manageable 2nd and 5 as Thomas in the backfield. They send a shifting look. A tight end now, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Leffler in the backfield next to Thomas. Handoff goes up the middle. Another beautiful hole up the middle as Leffler barrels forward. My goodness, a gain of 10 on the play for Hunter. He is just unstoppable today.
Left side of the ball, that's Mortensen and North opening up a big old gap for Leffler to get through there. Hard nose running right there from Emery.
A hole big enough you could drive a Mack truck through, and if these players can continue to develop on the offensive line, well, you're going to have to drive one of those armored Brinks trucks through to pay them what they are owed. As the clock ticks down in the 3rd quarter, the Spartans up and in the red zone, 35-7, entering into the 4th quarter when we return here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Every generation of Castle Country has answered the call to power America. Ours just made history at the San Rafael Energy Lab right here in Orangeville. Valor Atomics safely activated the Ward 250, a waterless microreactor and a global first achieved with a workforce that lives right here. The world is watching what America can do, what Castle Country can do. Again, learn more at valoratomics.com or see for yourself at their next open house.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into Emery High School football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth here at Emery High School. The Spartans dominating in a rivalry showdown against the Carbon Dinos thus far as they hold the 35-7 edge heading into the 4th quarter. And with them being in the red zone, they're looking to put this one away for the evening. 12 minutes stand between us and a final decision. Aiden Mortensen, Justin Thornley alongside you on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, as well as being simulcast on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Emery. You can also find us on the KSL Sports app. So The Spartans have dominated thoroughly, and it's been the ground game that's got them here.
You said it, Aiden. That's what we needed to see. We were missing the ground attack in that game against Kanab. We're seeing a good offense from Emery today.
Anytime you can make an offense one-faceted, anytime you can take away either the run or the pass, it becomes a lot easier to take down a team, and Emery has not run into that problem with their own offense. However, their defense has looked stellar. They haven't allowed hardly any passing yards from the Dinos. It's been the rushing attack where Carbon's been able to get most of their damage done. It was a big run from Packard in the first quarter that made it an 8-7 game. However, since then, it's been 27 unanswered from the Spartans.
Yeah, not what Carbon wants to do. That was a big play, 60-yard run from Carbon. Haven't been able to do much since then.
The Emery defense has shored up as Thomas steps up offensively. He's got the shotgun formation, trips to his left now, one man to his right, takes the snap. He's eyeing downfield, looks to the end zone, a little wraparound. I think if he would have made that catch, would have been called back for offensive pass interference, a little spin me right round action in the end zone.
Yeah, getting a little handsy over there, trying to get that ball and create some space. Ball maybe a little bit uncatchable there.
Yeah, just out of reach. You'd have to be able to jump about 5 feet off the ground to pull that one down. So a rare misplacement coming from AJ, but does not matter. Second and goal still from the 9-yard line for the Spartans. Trips to the left of Thomas, one man to his right. He's also got Leffler in the backfield alongside him. Has been the story of the game. Handoff goes up the middle to Leffler, this time to the right side. He barrels forward, reaches across. He plants it firmly. A flag comes flying, but a touchdown is called. Potentially. Looks like they're going to call him just short yet again, but Leffler bursts forward for 8 yards. That's 211 on the day.
Yeah, that's impressive. Impressive run right there. Carbon sent the house, and it bit him.
Well, let's see what happens with that flag situation. It didn't fly until the end of the play. And if it's against Carbon, it's going to be minimal damage because it's only half the distance to the goal line. Personal foul face mask will go against the Dinos, so that'll move Emery half the distance to the goal line, which from the 1-yard line doesn't really do you much. It makes that quarterback sneak or the run up the middle just a little bit easier. So the Spartans knocking on heaven's door yet again.
Yeah, nose of the ball close to the goal line. A lot of options right here for Emery.
Yeah, we've talked about the playbook being closed on extreme down and distances. However, when you're this close, the playbook is wide open as can be, as it's 3rd and millimeters for the Spartans. Thomas under center, Leffler in the backfield. They go for the goose and go. Thomas barrels forward. He's across the threshold, and that is another Spartan touchdown. Thomas tacks another in the run game, his 3rd of the day. It's been a dominant offensive attack from the Spartans.
Yeah, the offensive line gets a good push. It was a little bit of a slow touchdown call. They were making sure he got in, but that O-line did its job right there. They got the push. AJ able to lean in for the touchdown.
Yeah, the crash you saw occur at the goal line was akin to that of a pileup on I-15. No one was getting out of that traffic jam unharmed, and this time they're able to plow forward. Pending the kick from Ward, this one could be in Mercy Rule territory. You get the go-ahead. Snap, spirals, laces forward, kick up short of the goalpost. I think partially blocked by the Dinos. A good special team stand to keep this one within range. 41-7 the score as the Dinos going to be taken over. 11:42 left here in the 4th quarter of today's Coal Bowl action. And Thornley, it looked like it was going to be a close affair in that first quarter. We're deadlocked at that point. It is 15-7. Then Emery piles it on going into the second, or going into halftime, up 29-7. They end the third up 35-7. So only one touchdown in the third period for Emery. However, they get another to start the 4th.
Yeah, Emery's done a great job this game. They're moving the ball well, but we have to stack it up to the defense. The defense is really holding tough.
And a big contributing factor to that has been the ability of the secondary of Emery to really shut down the passing game from the Dinos. Anytime they have braved the passing game, Emery has had defenders within millimeters as soon as that ball leaves the hands as Ward lines up for the kickoff. Back to receive for the Dinos. Again, it's going to be Duran alongside Packard. Kick goes up, and it bounces, goes into the hands of Donaldson. He's going to rush forward. He gets a break of speed. He's got some room. One man to beat, and he's going to try and cut back. He breaks one tackle, but he's caught at the 50-yard line. Colin Donaldson, the sophomore, barrels forward for a big kick return of about 40 yards, sets the Dinos up midfield, their best starting position of the second half.
Yeah, that was a big run on that kickoff. Maybe that's the energy the Dinos need to get going and get back into this game.
And that is exactly what they're seeing. The sideline looks a little more fired up now. The life has been restored to Carbon as they break the huddle. It's going to be Rigby in the shotgun for Carbon. 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 2 in the backfield as he takes the snap in the shotgun. Drops back, he's got time, throws the dime, and he's able to make the catch immediately. A good grab by Baylor Sanders. Barrels forward for a first down and then some. So, a good connection coming from the junior to the junior. Sanders able to plow forward for a Dinos first down.
Yeah, wide open shot right there, catch and run. Good gain for Carbon.
So, the Spartans take the line of scrimmage as the Dinos break the huddle. A 4-2-5 look from the Spartan squad. As again, Rigby lines up in the shotgun. This time, jumbo formation up front. A tight trips as he has one man behind him. He drops back. He's looking to pass. Rolls to his right. Surveys the field. Throws it down low. It's caught by Packard, however, brought down almost immediately. A good defensive play coming from the Spartans by way of Grady Ovison.
Yeah, Ovison in there right as he catches the ball. He's right there to make the play. Make sure he doesn't get any yards off that.
So now a 2nd and 10 following the completion, but no gain for Carbon. They're going to regroup in the huddle and retake the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Rigby in the shotgun. He's got one man out to his left, 2 to his right, a jumbo formation, 1 behind him in the backfield. Rigby takes the shotgun snap. He's eyeing downfield. He scampers. He rolls around. He's going to be brought down. Breaks one tackle. No one can seem to bring him down, but they eventually do catch up to him. The Spartans come up with another sack.
Yeah, impressive. He had a lot of time back there. Those O-linemen lose him a little bit, and then he's scrambling around. Eventually, Emery able to bring him down.
Making contact on that one, it was Tom Thornton for the Spartans, bringing him down in the backfield. One of many who contributed to that play.
Yeah, another sophomore in there seeing some action on the varsity field.
So the sack forces a 7-yard loss, 3rd and 17 for the Dinos as they try and get some offensive momentum going. Rigby in the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, 1 in the backfield. Quick pitch to the outside. Rolling forward, they've got breathing room. Dawson Johnson plows forward, and he approaches the first down marker. Going to be just short. Now it definitely feels like a time where you will go for it. It's going to be 4th and 3 for the Dinos.
Yeah, this part of the field, you have to go for it here, Aiden. Clock winding down. Got to go for it right here. Try to pick up a first down.
Yeah, with time continuing to dwindle down further and further, your only option, it feels, is to try and extend this game by getting on the scoreboard. So 41-7 with 9-10 and ticking down. 4th and 3. The Dinos opt to keep the offense. Tight trips to the right. One man out wide to the left. One running back in the backfield behind the likes of Rigby. He throws the easy pass, and it's caught by Packard. A tiptoe walk along the sideline for the first down. A gain of 6 on the play for the Dinos. They keep this drive alive as Dexter Packard plays hero and gets a much-needed first for Carbon.
Yeah, good play from Carbon. Grady Ovison able to push him out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down.
And we talked about it early on, the pass game for the Dinos, they just weren't turning to it at all. But now that they have, a little more has opened up for them.
Yeah, a lot of pass plays in this drive.
So again, it's going to be Rigby in the backfield for the Dinos. Takes the snap and he drops back. He eyes to his left, throws a deep ball downfield, and it is unable to be caught. Trying to flirt with the corner of the end zone, cannot get it to drop. His intended receiver that go around was Davis Secor. Cannot come up with the catch, so now 2nd and 10 for the Dinos.
Yeah, I like the play call on first down. Try to get a quick score off of that. Unable to bring it down in the end zone.
So now Dinos break the huddle, 2nd and 10 facing them as Rigby goes into the shotgun. Right behind him, it's Dawson Johnson. Trips to his left in a tight formation, 1 man out wide for the Dinos. Quick pitch out goes to Johnson along the left side. He goes around, he has an edge, but he is hit hard like a freight train, comes flying in. The Spartan defense, the linebacking core especially, making a hard-sounding hit, but not before a gain of 5 on the play for the Dinos.
You know, if you're Carbon, you take that gain. That was Connor Nilsson coming in, laying the hit down, but not before a good game by Carbon.
And, you know, Connor's been a fun force to watch early on in the season. He is a hard hitter, and he's got some wheels behind him. He can fly when he wants to. As 2-back formation again for the Dinos. They're facing a 3rd and 4. Rigby takes the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. A little wrap around the neck, but a flag goes flying. I can see that going either way, either going to be a hold or a horse collar, dependent on what Mr. Whitehat saw. Preparing to make the official call, he stands at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a face mask against the Spartans, so that's going to aid the Dinos in their quest for the end zone. A chance to push it forward with 7:48 remaining on the clock. 41-7 advantage for the Spartans. They've been dominant in this rivalry showdown thus far. Now they look to flip the script here on the Spartans. So out of the huddle, and thanks to the penalty, it's a 1st down situation. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line is Rigby with 2 backs and trips to his right. Gives the handoff. They're trying to find breathing room. They barrel forward, and they're going to find the end zone. Dawson Johnson barrels forward for a score. And a touchdown for the Dinos makes it 41-13, so the fight still showing on that Carbon sideline. They don't want this rivalry to end in flames. They're going to fight till the last moment, and with plays like that in the kicking game they have, who knows what surprises they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, that was needed by Carbon. They needed to score on that drive. Good running by the running back, able to just dance around behind his lineman and get in for the touchdown.
It was good blocking up front from a very experienced group for Carbon as Chile takes the kick. It soars up, and it is good. 14-41 sits the score with 7:33 remaining here in the Coal Bowl showdown between the Spartans and the Dinos. Emery has been able to be victorious thus far due to a potent rushing attack, which with 7 minutes left feels like they're going to be turning to more frequently to watch that time continue to tick down.
Yeah, that's what I expect to see. Aiden, they're going to keep the ball on the ground, pick up some 1st downs, drive the ball down the field.
And that's exactly what we're hoping to see them do. As the Spartans prepare for the reception, you can expect a little trickery from Carbon here. When you have a school that's as prominent in soccer as the Dinos are, you're going to be able to find a few talented kickers on the roster. That's been the case for Eli Chile, a kicking specialist for the last several seasons for the Dinos. Now has a chance to go for a little trickery on the onside and give Carbon another possession. However, special teams for the Spartans have always been stellar. Going to be an interesting dynamic between these two heading into the kickoff.
Yeah, you would kind of expect at this point of the game, maybe try an onside kick, at least a little squib kick to the side, try to give your kickoff team a chance to go gather up that ball.
Yeah, a chance to pull something off and get the ball back in your hands. Try and half the deficit. A touchdown here makes it a 42-21 for the Dinos. So the onside comes like we expected, bounces up, and a scramble for it. We're going to see who the officials signal, and they're going to say it stays with the Spartans, but the gamble almost pays off for the Dinos. They had about 5 men there swarming 2 Spartans, but Emery able to come up with it.
Yeah, that was a great onside kick. It bounced right at the right time. The Emery hands reception team up there able to gather that up and keep control of the ball.
So now the Spartans will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Quickly into Dinos territory they can cross. And with how they've been running the ball, I expect to see them ground and pound the remainder of this contest. So the Spartans line up under center. They bring it back out into the shotgun now. Thomas with 2 backs to either side. Handoff goes up the middle, plowing forward for a gain of 5 on the play. The Spartans able to move the chains just a little bit further. It's Nilsson on the carry. A great first drive from him. Now it's going to set up a 2nd and 2 for the Spartans.
Yeah, different set coming from Emery right there. They have 2 running backs in the backfield, a little cross action going, and Trey able to pick up a good gain on first down.
So now the Spartans line up in the shotgun yet again. It's Thomas with 2 backs to either side of him. Gives the handoff, but this time met immediately by a swarm of Dinos defenders. My goodness, a hard-hitting core coming by way of Carbon. Getting in on there was Alan Bueno alongside Brody Collins, and they bring the Spartans down for a significant loss on the play.
Yeah, Carbon sniffed that run out from the get-go. They know Emery's wanting to keep the ball on the ground, so they sent the house there and able to come up and knock Emery back a little ways.
So a loss of 3 on the play for the Spartans as the score sits 41-14. 3rd and 4 for Emery, trying to keep this drive alive. Thomas again with the 2-back set in the shotgun. He'll take the snap after sending a man in motion. Little bubble screen out into the flat. Bobbled for a moment, but then caught, pulled down by the Spartans. Brody Johnson able to get his hands on that one as he goes forward for the first down.
Yeah, great run after the catch. Able to secure the catch before he started running there, Aiden.
Yeah, and sometimes you see that happen. Excuse me, it looks like that was Jesse Drage who came up with the play, but enough for the Spartan first down as Drage moves the chains ever more forward. So in the shotgun again, a tight end set for the Spartans. This time to the left, duos to the right, man in motion. That's Nilsson. Thomas takes the snap, handoff goes to Trey. He's got a hand on a blocker, and he barrels forward. Going to be a gain of 5 on the play for the Spartans.
Yeah, a little jet sweep action. Comes around, gains a few yards on first down again. We've talked about that all day. Spartans really like to get those first 3, 4, 5 yards on first down.
And then when you can do that, it just helps the offense continually click forward. 2nd and 5 for Emery as they break out of the huddle. Thomas again lines up in the shotgun. 2 to his left, 1 to his right, 1 man in the backfield, and a tight end look. Tight end played by Nelson, who had the jet sweep end around last time. This time handoff goes up the middle to Leffler. Leffler barrels forward. They're going to give him a gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, right. Hard-nosed running right up the middle. Good game by Emery. Close to a first down. Not quite.
So that's going to be Johnson on the carry for the Spartans.
Yeah, seeing a few substitutions in here. They're keeping us on our toes tonight, Aiden.
That they are, but it's been a dominant performance. It's time to let those younger guys shine just a little bit. So now it still is Thomas in the quarterback. Johnson to his right, 2 men to his left, 1 tight end in Nilsson. Thomas in the shotgun. He'll give the clap and the snap. He'll keep the ball himself this time and flying right off the edge, but maybe not before the first down is made. For the Dinos is Ricky Sandoval. He flies off that right edge, nearly brings the Spartans down before they can get it, and they're going to say he was stopped short, so 4th and inches for Emery as they make some personnel decisions. Leffler back into the game alongside Drage, both of them coming in.
You got to think right here, Carbon's got to make this stop on 4th down. If they're going to have a chance to come back and score some more points, they've got to make this stop on 4th down.
And clock continues to tick down. 3:50 and running for the Spartans. 7 on the play clock. Looks like Emery content to let this run down before calling a timeout. And that's exactly what they will do. So a 41-14 advantage with 3:43 remaining here in tonight's contest. Emery has the advantage in the Coal Bowl. We're going to come back in just a moment for the exciting finish of this year's rendition of the game here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
The coffee shop on Main Street in Price has been your go-to spot for almost 2 decades. Whether it's a latte to start your morning, a refreshing cold brew in the afternoon, or a cozy chai on a chilly evening, we've got the perfect drink for any moment. Settle in with free Wi-Fi and plenty of seating, or let us bring it out to you with curbside delivery. With parking in the back, the coffee shop, Main Street in Price, where good days begin with great coffee.
Back out of the timeout. It's going to be the Spartans with a 4th and inches situation against the Dinos defense, who is not content to see more points put up on the board. It's going to be Thomas lining up in the shotgun. He's got Leffler to his right, one man to his left, now trips to his right with the motion of Nielsen. Handoff goes up the middle. Leffler barrels forward. He's able to pick up the first and then some. So a gain of 3 on the play for Hunter, and he adds to his total 215 yards on the day for the senior. My goodness, what a rushing attack he's had.
Yeah, you said it, Aiden. Not a lot of rushing yards in the first game of the season, and we're making up for it tonight.
That and then some, and then the defense has been stingy as can be, only allowing 14 points, a big run from Dexter Packard in the first, and then a nice sustained drive in the fourth for the Dinos to make it a 41-14 affair with 3:15 and clicking. Thomas in the shotgun, trips to his right, one man to his left, a partner in the backfield stands to his right. They put Stilson in, he passes quick bubble screen out to Drage. Drage continues to weave and wind as the subs for the Spartans continue to shine. So Jesse Drage picks up 11 on the play. A good throw from Stilson.
Yeah, Drake Stilson comes in first play and makes a good throw. And Drage, I'm impressed. He's able to run really hard up the edge and gain yards after the first initial contact.
And he was a stud back in junior high school. Now on the high school levels, it usually takes a year to adjust to the game speed, but looks like he's not missing a stride entering into his sophomore campaign. Stilson in the shotgun with 2:45 and ticking. He's got trips to his right, one man to his left. Takes the snap, handoff goes up the middle, and goes forward. A hard hit by the Dinos. Good initial contact coming from Carbon by Jason Urbanik, the sophomore. Known mostly for his duty behind the dish on the baseball team. Now showing that he can hit hard on the field as a linebacker.
Yeah, big hit coming from Carbon right there. Emery gave a couple of yards, but big hit coming from Carbon.
So gain of 2 on the play. So the Spartans with a 2nd and 8 situation as Stilson enters into the shotgun. Same formation as before. Trips to the right, single man to the left. Running back beside him sends him out. Now he has an empty backfield. Little bubble screen ran, dropped. And they're going to call it an incomplete pass. The intended receiver that go around was going to be Brody Johnson, the sophomore, unable to make the grasp. So the clock stops, but the Spartans still facing a 2nd and 8 with 2:04 remaining in the game.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple more substitutions on that front line. Drake hurries that throw a little bit, unable to put it in the arms of his receiver.
And, that's why you get them used to this varsity speed early on, because it is a completely different ball game from what you see on the JV and freshman sophomore levels. Everyone here is bigger than you as a sophomore. Even
right.
The other sophomores. As Stilson lines up in the shotgun. He's got 2 to his right, 1 to his left, and it's a snap. They're going to run forward. Flag goes flying, but the clock ticks down a few more seconds. A minute 57 left. 3rd and 8 for the Spartans with the flag. Probably going to be 3rd and a little more distance to go. Holding on Emery will be the official call. They're going to be backed up 10 yards. So 3rd and 8 goes to 3rd and 18. The Spartans within the final 2 minutes now trying to put the final touches on a 41-14 victory over the Carbon Dinos. It was domination in the second quarter especially. That's where a bulk of the damage was done. Thornley, they scored 2 touchdowns to give themselves a 29-7 halftime advantage.
Yeah, we're seeing the second squad for Emery in here. They've been standing on the sidelines. They're getting in on some varsity action, making a couple mistakes. Let's see if they can settle in and run this game out.
And that clock continues to tick down now within the final 90 seconds of the contest. They have to hurry and get a playoff, though, or else it's going to be a delay of game. And it will be. The flag goes flying right as the snap is made. Good call by the official. They were about a second off from making that happen. So minute 29, the official time left on the clock. 41-14 in game number 2 of the 2026 campaign for the Emery Spartans. 3rd and 18 to 3rd and 23 now. The clock does continue to run, though. That won't result in a stoppage. So the Emery Spartans effectively able to waste some more time in this game. Now down to a minute 15, 41-14. Spartans with Stilson line up in the shotgun. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff goes up the middle, goes to Johnson. He's able to leap his way forward for about a gain of 2 yards. But now within the final 60 seconds, on the play clock. Not going to be able to waste all this time without at least one more Dino possession. However, you can watch it tick down quite low, negate any harm that may come their way as Emery looks to finish up a move to 1-1 on the season. They fall to the reigning 1A champs, but they show what they're made of with a dominant victory over the Carbon Dinos.
Yeah, big game tonight. We come off we got beat up against Kanab, but we come back and we show, hey, look, we're young, but we can make this thing happen for the season. We have some experience coming back, and we're going to still be able to put some points on the board.
Carbon calls a timeout with 26 seconds left. We'll dive into it more when we get into the Cache Valley Bank post-game show. But what's impressed you most with the Spartans today in their turnaround from last week?
Has to be the running game. They put the ball in Leffler's hands, and that's been the difference maker. They're able to move the ball, get positive yards on first down, and I think that opens up everything else that they've been able to do tonight.
And we've harped on it a few times, but going from 20 rushing yards in your debut to 215 in the span of a game, what a turnaround for Hunter Leffler. Has a touchdown to his name as well, breaking away that 96-yard scamper to the promised land. What a run that was to help put Emery up early. And now the Spartans with the ball, 4th and 29. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong thing. As they send a man in motion, little movement coming from the line. It looks like they're going to try and air this one out, waste a little more time. As the snap goes to Stilson, handoff runs up the middle, swallowed up by a wall of humanity at the line of scrimmage. Turnover on downs for the Spartans. Stops the clock with 21 seconds left. It's enough time if you're Carbon to put something more on the scoreboard, but it is unlikely. However, that did happen in the 2024 rendition of this contest. Carbon struck with a late touchdown in the final 3 seconds of the contest to make it a more respectable affair. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that again. This is a do or die till the end Carbon team, and you love that mentality.
Yeah, Emery going to back their defense up, nothing over the top. But you expect Carbon to not just lay down right here. They're going to try to put some more points on the board.
So it's going to be Rigby in the shotgun, trips to his left, one to his right, takes the low snap, pass out to the left side to Johnson. Johnson barrels forward. He's got running room, and he tries to cut it back. Should have stayed near the sideline if he wanted to stop the clock, but now 10 seconds and ticking as it stops at 9 as we reset the chains. A big run coming for Johnson, the sophomore.
Yeah, good run around the outside, good blocking on Carbon's point. Emery's got their second string in there. They're running them down and able to corral it, limit the damage, but not before a good pickup on that first down play.
And it looks like a timeout called on the field. Injured Spartan down on the ground. Training staff out to attend immediately. Very attentive. Good. Got to give a kudos to the training staff. They have done such an excellent job with this program. So you never really have to worry when someone goes down because we have an excellent group working the sidelines.
Yeah, Pro Rehab. They've done a great job for a lot of years helping out. They're to every event and helping our injured Spartans and the visiting team as well. They're on the ball and they get out there and help them out. Looks like a cramp. It's hot out there still, Aiden. It's late at night, but it's still pretty warm, and you expect to see a few muscle cramps coming.
I've completely forgot the temperature outside. We're in a chilly little booth right now. I'm wearing a quarter zip, and I feel fantastic. A little chilly for my taste, actually, but the heat definitely still a factor as heat indexes right now sit at about 84 degrees outside. So it's going to be Rigby in the shotgun. Duel to his right. He surveys downfield, lofts it deep downfield. Cannot make the play. No flag flies. Lots of contact, but just good defense in the end. Intended receiver for the Dinos was Callan Donaldson.
Yeah, Corbin Ward on the coverage right there. Thought about making a hit. Held up a little bit of contact, but no flags fly, and Carbon down to one last play.
Yeah, 2.3 seconds left in the contest. Could be time for one big home run swing. And it looks like Dinos break the huddle out. They're facing a 2nd and 10 situation from their own 42-yard line. 2 running backs for the Dinos. Trips to the left, 1 man to the right for Rigby in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Muffs the handoff, picked up by Packard. He's going to try and run forward, but brought down quickly as time expires in this coal bucket game. students start to make their way onto the field, and that will do it. Emery comes away with the 41-14 victory over the Dinos, and a rivalry continues and a trophy stays at the home of the Spartans.
Yeah, Emery's keeping that trophy again for another year. It'll be sitting in the office with another year painted on the bucket.
And it's always exciting when these two teams get to meet. The community support for both of these programs, truly nothing short of spectacular. A nearly full visitor section, a packed Spartan home section, narrowly an empty seat in sight, as Emery again comes away with the 41-14 victory. We're going to dive into the stats, the nitty-gritty, and hopefully get Coach Famalo up here for a conversation on the game. Coming up, we have the Cache Valley Bank postgame show right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Don's Hometown Insurance and Price is ranked #1 on Google reviews, proof that real people value real hometown customer service. We're honored to set the standard, helping you find the right coverage with a caring local touch. Join your neighbors who count on Don's Hometown Insurance for friendly expertise and genuine support. Stop by or call us today at 637-3344. Experience the hometown difference everyone is talking about. Don's Hometown Insurance, where you always come first.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in Historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll. The time is now to join the JN Auto Experience. Browse quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs at our Price or Huntington lots. JN Auto can even help you get financing. Get fast, expert mechanic service to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Treat your car to a spotless wash or make it shine with professional detailing. Even rent a car. All in one convenient stop. JN Auto. Driven forward.
Every generation of Castle Country has answered the call to power America. Ours just made history at the San Rafael Energy Lab right here in Orangeville. Valor Atomics safely activated the Ward 250, a waterless microreactor and a global first achieved with a workforce that lives right here. The world is watching what America can do, what Castle Country can do. Again, learn more at valoratomics.com or see for yourself at their next open house.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome in to the Cache Valley Bank postgame show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. We are live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth as your Emery Spartans move to 1-1 on the season with a rivalry win over the Carbon Dinos 41-14. Aiden Mortensen, Justin Thornley alongside you for the broadcast. And Thornley, we talked about entering pregame. The key to this game for the Spartans was controlling the trenches, and they did it not just defensively, but offensively as well. This group up front looked stellar.
Yeah, that was a good look from Emery. We really needed to win the battle on the line, and I think they did it pretty much the whole game.
You know, and you got to attribute that to the excellent run game that they had today. The Spartans were all over the place. A.J. Thomas finishes the game with 83 rushing yards for 3 touchdowns. Hunter Leffler, my goodness, all over the field he was. 215 total rushing yards on the day, along with a touchdown. That touchdown comes by way of a 96-yard sprint to the end zone. He looked lights out throughout the contest. So the Spartans' rushing attack was there, but their passing attack was there as well. Thomas finishes the game with 212 yards and a touchdown. You have Drake Stilson come in. He completes one pass for 11 yards. His second pass of the game thrown in unexpectedly due to Thomas having to step out for a moment. He's able to get some stats on the board as well. His key receiver today was Cray Leroy, 79 yards and a touchdown. Also helping him was Kai Witzel, 55 yards and a touchdown.
That's an impressive stat line, Aiden. A lot better. That's what we want to see going forward. If we can move the ball on the ground, those passes will open up.
And that is exactly what the struggle was against the Cowboys. And you got to give credit to everyone in the wide receiver room for really stepping up this week. Last week, it was Cray Leroy stealing the show in the first half of action. However, once Kanab started keying off that, they were unable to really get anything going in the passing game. But today, everyone really pulling their weight. Nilsson has a big gain of 29 yards. Leffler has 29 yards off screen passes. Witzel again with 55. Jesse Drage has 36. The sophomore really shining tonight.
Yeah, you said it. A lot of different people getting involved in the offense today.
Now, defensively, I was quite impressed, not just with the line, but with the linebacking unit for this team. They were all over the place, and they were shutting down any runs up the middle. Only 1 or 2 times was Carbon able to break off anything big, and when they did, they made some noise with it. You look at Dexter Packard's big run to the end zone to get Carbon up on the board early, but after that, it was really held quiet. Getting stats from upstairs in total, Carbon finishes the game with 141 rushing yards and 23 passing yards.
Yeah, I mean, we watched the game, and that's about the story of the tape right there. Not a lot going on. I would have probably liked to see Carbon run the ball a little bit more. They were effective up the middle.
They were finding a lot of success there, especially with sophomore back Dawson Johnson. He was able to drop a shoulder and plow forward, and because of that, he was able to just continually grind down this Emery defense. He was getting quick 3-4 yard gains, but then when he had the chance, he was able to break off some bigger ones for 10 or even 20 yards.
Yeah, the Emery defense stood strong, though. They did a great job of containing the outside runs. And then those linebacking core, they were with Colton North and Heath Lupo, they were able to fill up the gaps in the middle most of those plays.
And that is really what they were able to do so well. This is a group who's impressed me in the rushing defense time and time again this season. Through 2 games, you take on a fierce rushing foe in Kanab. You hold them beneath to about 212 rushing yards. And for a team like Kanab, who rarely throws the ball, that's a victory in and of itself. And today you hold Carbon to 141 rushing yards. That's a pretty impressive feat for a team who was really grounding and pounding it against ALA just a week ago.
Yeah, especially, if you look at that stat line, 60 yards came on one play for Carbon. So you subtract that one play off, and there wasn't a lot going up the middle either.
Yeah, it was a big breakaway run for the Dinos to help put them on the board early. However, it was the Spartans who were able to secure the route and keep on moving forward. We got some scores pulled up over there. Let's see what's happening around the state in the world of football.
Yeah, in 2A, we've got a couple of scores coming in the final. Some of these are still going, but San Juan able to knock off Beaver big, 52-22. If we look at the Delta Miller game, that one's over 34-0 for Delta. another big play, big game by Delta.
Yeah, Delta is looking sharp to open up the year. An upset win over Juab, and that's another heated rivalry out there in central Utah. So the Rabbits firing on all cylinders to open up the year.
Yeah, right now I'm showing that there's still some time in the fourth quarter. Richfield-Grantsville. Richfield-Grantsville getting a little bit closer, 24-17 right now.
Ooh, that one is definitely a little closer than when we checked on it at the halftime break. The Wildcats in a little scary time from the Cowboys.
Yeah, we talked about it. That Grantsville crew, they're a good football team. They knocked off San Juan last week. And Richfield, impressive. Just updated 24-24. Even better game.
So there you have, they have tied this one up. So a good showing right now from the Cowboys, a team who a week ago dominated San Juan, now looking to take out one of the 3A favorites in Richfield. So we'll take another quick break here on the Cache Valley Bank post-game show. And when we come back, we'll have conversations with Emery High School head coach John Famalo right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Emery and Carbon Animal Health, where Dr. Jensen and his staff greet you and your pet with caring smiles. Our exam rooms are clean and inviting. Our accredited doctors offer many procedures, including examinations, surgery, dentistry, and boarding. Schedule an appointment today. 2 locations to serve you. Emery and Carbon Animal Health. Animals big and small. We care for them all.
Your degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Utah Valley University, our open admissions and low tuition make getting started easy. Choose from online, in-person, or hybrid classes so you can keep your schedule and get real-world, hands-on experience. That means you won't just graduate with a degree, you'll graduate ready for what's next. Learn more for less. Apply today at uvu.edu.
What started on a workbench in 1948 has evolved into a business that is more than a jewelry store. It's part of the fabric of Springville.
It's Duke Jewelers. 4th-generation owner Kimberly Narupe continues the legacy of her great-grandfather Melvin Duke and father Richard Holmes. Creating an engagement ring or reimagining an heirloom, Duke's design team brings your vision to life. It's about family, craftsmanship, and memories that shine through every piece. Duke's Jewelers.
South Main Street, Springville, at dukesjewelers.com.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered. At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Imagine stepping foot into your dream home. The scent of fresh paint and the feel of plush carpet under your feet. Hi, this is Greg at the Driggs Mortgage Team. We make that dream come to life with our expert guidance and personalized financing solutions. Now closer to you at our new location in 23 South Carbon Avenue, Suite 21 in Price, because when it comes to financing your home, there's simply no substitute for experience.
Emery Spartan football.
AJ Thomas, number 13.
Miles Mortensen, number 52.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into Emery Spartan football here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. We are live from the Sutherland's broadcast booth as the Spartans move to 1-1 on the young 2026 season with a 41-14 victory over cross-county rival the Carbon Dinos. Joining us now in the booth, we are joined by Emery High School head football coach John Famall. Coach, always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for taking the time as always to come talk to us.
Hey, not a problem. Appreciate you having me up here, Aiden.
So, that was a fun one from start to finish. First quarter, they played it close. A big run by Dexter Packard, but you guys were able to outpace them with a 15-7 first frame. And one thing you and I were talking about a second ago, the rushing attack from you guys tonight was stellar. Up front, the offensive linemen did a great job blocking, but more importantly, the running backs and AJ, they stayed patient and they found their gaps.
No, that was, a lot of credit to our O-line. I thought they did a great job. That's one thing we've been trying to do is establish the run, so it was nice to be able to see us run. And Hunter did a phenomenal job, had the big run, probably 92, 95-yard run. That's probably one of the biggest runs I've seen in Emery history. So, congratulations to him and our O-line. I thought they did a great job. And AJ, he's a tough kid, and they played a ton of man-to-man, and so when he was able to get outside the pocket, had a lot of corners and safeties with their backs turned, and so he made the most of it, and he did a great job both throwing and with his feet.
Now, defensively this year, you switch back to a 4-2-5, and tonight really paid dividends. You hold Carbon to 141 rushing yards, 23 passing yards. Were you surprised to see them not passing as frequently as they did tonight?
Oh, that's kind of what we're expecting. I mean, the little Timothy kid, he's an explosive kid. That was kind of our thing, is let's take him away. We bracketed him a ton, and so again, he didn't get very many touches out of the air. All of them were either runs, and he's an explosive player, and so we needed to make sure to do the best we could to control him. So I thought they would take a few more chances, but they ran the ball well. 23 is a hard runner too. They both ran hard, and fortunate enough, after they got that big one, to settle down in and start kind of controlling the run a little bit, with the exception of that fourth quarter where we had a short field, and they did a good job just pounding it at us, and so congratulations to them. But I thought defensively, overall, it's probably one of the better games we've played.
I really like when Emery's defense is playing to its potential and firing on all cylinders, because you have that hard-nosed identity already established. I know that's something you work on throughout the week at practice, and when it shows up on game day, it's exciting for the fans, and it's exciting for us up here in the booth, and I'm sure it's exciting for you as a coaching staff.
Oh, I mean, that's a little bit of the payday that you hope, is that you put the time in to teach the kids to play a certain way, and when they do, and it pays off, there's a lot of reward to that. And so, credit to the kids locking in this week, and coming off of a pretty rough loss last week, getting beat up pretty good. It was nice to us to rebound and get back to that physicality, and hopefully we can carry that momentum going on to the season.
Now, one thing that was going to be a unique challenge for you heading into this season was going to be the youthfulness of this team. Lots of sophomores and juniors taking major roles, especially in the skill positions like wide receiver. But tonight we saw a lot of them really step up. I mean, Jesse Drage, Kai Witzel, Trey Nelson. They all really looked like they belonged on the varsity level at such a young age. And for a program like Emery, that feels like it's always a big benefit, not just now, but in the future.
Yeah, and that's what you hope. Like you say, we'd had that conversation about being young, and that's where we're young, is a lot of that skill position. There's actually one time I looked out there, I had 3 sophomores running on that trips, and I was like, oh, wow. And so, but it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have if the kids continue to stay healthy and continue to play like they are. I'm happy for him. I thought they played well. I thought Drage played well. Trey had moments that I thought he played really good. And I say Kai Witzel, I think that was his coming out party. He was a kid when he came this year, I needed him defensively. Wondered how much we could use him on the offense. But, wow, he had an incredible game too.
Yeah, 55 yards through the air and a touchdown. Kai looked spectacular out there. Now, as you look at the transition from week 1 to week 2, of course, you're always going to knock those first game jitters out. What was the biggest change you saw in the mentality of this team heading into this contest after that loss from Kanab?
I think just that opening drive, to be able to get that, and then to get scored back on just like that. We've had those battles, and our kids responded. And, that's what you worry about is, okay, hey, is this going to be a back and forth? And, I felt like the second quarter we really locked down defensively, and as well as the third quarter. So I was happy about that. And so, it's probably the biggest thing is that again, getting socked in the mouth, especially when you send the first punch and then they come back with another one, you got to say, okay, hey, what do we got? And our kids answered.
They answer back, they did. Now let's look ahead to next week. Beaver coming to town. You face the 1A champs. Now you get the 1A runner-ups. Always tough when you play a team like Beaver who's so skilled in running the triple option. That's their bread and butter, and that's something that, gives teams fits.
Again, they run similar offense to Kanab. So, I mean, you saw what Kanab did to us, and so it's one of those things. It's an assignment football against that wing T, and so we really got to be disciplined to our assignments, our keys, and our reads, and then not get your eyes into all the stuff, all the movement, because there's a lot of movement in the backfield. And so if you kind of get confused with that, you can get lost and out of position, and, they do a really good job getting you out of position, blocking you, and next thing you know, they're running and, they're gashing you. So, again, I expect that to be a really tough game, similar to the Kanab. It's like, okay, hey, it's another physical knockout, drag out. They're going to run it down at you. What are you going to do?
And, it's a tough schedule overall, but it's nice having 10 games on the year. I'm sure you're excited about that. I know the kids are as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last couple of years we've been unfortunate for our region to miss some games, and so it's nice to have a full 10 games, and I'm happy about that, and I think our kids are too. I think it helps you, especially going into the playoffs, to have that extra game. It's been probably fortunate for us in the past that we've had a few injuries, and it's played well, but I'd much rather play for sure.
Now, Coach, before we let you go celebrate this win, anything you want to leave us off with?
No, I just appreciate you guys. Again, spotlighting these kids. That's the most important thing about this program is these kids. And so I'm happy for them. I'm glad the way they played. And, I'm just looking forward to go next week.
Yeah, can't wait to see you there, Coach. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks again, Aiden.
Again, our guest, Emery High School head football coach John Famalo. We're talking about the Spartans' 41-14 rivalry win over the Carbon Dinos. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to put the finishing touches on this rendition of the Cache Valley Bank postgame show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Don's Hometown Insurance and Price is ranked #1 on Google reviews, proof that real people value real hometown customer service. We're honored to set the standard, helping you find the right coverage with a caring local touch. Join your neighbors who count on Don's Hometown Insurance for friendly expertise and genuine support. Stop by or call us today at 637-3344. Experience the hometown difference everyone is talking about. Don's Hometown Insurance, where you always come first.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered. At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
Hi, I'm Tim Frame with Cache Valley Bank here in Price. Making the right financial decisions for your future can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're planning a new construction project, growing a business, or just looking for a better way to save, my team and I are here to provide the local expertise and personal guidance you deserve. Stop by our lobby or use our drive-thru today. Let's make a plan for your success right here in Castle Valley. Cache Valley Bank.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Emery Spartan football.
Chas Sorensen, number 58.
Corbin Ward, wide receiver kicker.
On KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back into the Cache Valley Bank post-game show here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. Aiden Mortensen, Justin Thornley alongside you to close out today's game. The Spartans come away with a 41-14 victory over the Carbon Dinos. Next week lies a tough test here at home as they welcome the 1A runner-ups, the Beaver Beavers. They face the champs. They get the runner-ups. A tough test whenever Beaver comes to town.
Yeah, we talked about it last week of a tough schedule here for Emery, but I think it builds character going into region play.
Yeah, and going into a region as tough as ours is shaping up to be, I mean, Delta's looking to be a powerhouse. San Juan is always San Juan. The only team who could potentially be an easier out this year is South Sevier, and even then, they're coming off a 10-1 season where they were dominant throughout the year, so it's a lot to look out for in this region, and the tougher the gauntlet you play in the preseason, I think the better off you're going to be in those later stretches, especially when teams that hit hard and you can come away with those, you can get a little more physical toughness going, less injury is going to come your way as well come those later stretches.
Yeah, we don't want to get injured. We're looking pretty good on the field. You know, we were missing a couple of guys tonight too, and able to dominate the line of scrimmage and get a lot of all-purpose yards.
Now, Thornley, before we close things out, anything you want to leave us off with heading into next week?
It's an exciting week. I mean, these kids are doing a lot this week. First couple of weeks of school are always, nerve-wracking. I hope that they can settle in, get a good practice next week, and be ready for the Beavers to come to town.
Yeah, lots of excitement this week. And, well, it's not going to stop heading into next week, Thornley. It's a pleasure. Thanks for doing this alongside me again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a great time, Aiden. I've had a lot of fun so far, and looking forward to more Spartan football.
Again, the Spartans come away with the 41-14 rivalry victory over the Carbon Dinos tonight at Spartan Field. A great showing from the Emery Spartans. Next week, we'll have the game against the Beaver Beavers right here in Castledale. Landon's Diesel Service pregame show starts at 6:30. Kickoff to follow at 7 right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM. And if you want to relive the action from tonight's game or any other game from the Spartan season, you can always find us on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Emery. I'm Aiden Mortensen. He's Justin Thornley. Thank you for listening, and